Welcome back to our playthrough of Aeon Trespass Odyssey. I'm Emerging Boat. We are on day 62 of Cycle 3, and we are about to do our transition from Doom 2B into Doom 3A, which means we are going to be doing a fun fight today. I just did the Sun Descendant fight with, or after coming off of story card 3A. During that story, we had to do a Sun Descendant fight. I did not record that fight, but during that fight, I awakened. Skyseer got into some bad situations, ended up causing her to draw You Died Obel. Long story short, she rolled a 10, awakened into the Athena god form, which means we get to read an Inward Odyssey. That also meant that we had to do an adversary activation, bringing the Dehaka onto our tile, so I just had to do a Dehaka fight as well. And I'll just say that for that Dehaka fight, I am very glad to have technologies like, or gear like the prototype Trespass device, Argo ability like Transient Death, because that was kind of brutal. And in the next fight with the Dehaka, I'm either going to have to kill it, go to 12 wounds, which I think is pretty doable when the Dehaka still has the Shackles of Regret trait. But if I do that, I'm going to have to start disabling the Shackles of Regret trait in future fights, and so I am not looking forward to fighting the Dehaka again, because I might just have to throw that fight, and I think I'm going to lose a bunch of Titans with that. I'm pulling up the Dehaka battle thing here, because I would be at 6 boxes. So yeah, all Titans die in the fight for defeat. Then the Dehaka kills 1 additional Titan from the Stoa. Okay, at least that one doesn't say it's random, but I'd have to lose 2 Argo-bred Titans during that fight, on top of 3 Dreamwalker Titans. So, I mean, that I might prefer to do that than have to like trigger the, I don't know. I'm not looking forward to trying to kill the Dehaka this cycle. I remember struggling with that fight in my first playthrough. But anyway, that's neither oh my gosh, I can't even talk. That is neither here nor there, which is also kind of a terrible saying. What does that saying even mean? But let me see. I put some of the, we have a couple of events that we need to resolve, but I put them on the next day, day 62, because I just want to transition into day 62. But we have a Nemos breakthrough that we need to resolve for Herakleides, right? That's his name? Yeah, Herakleides. Because he got a Nemos node from us winning the Sun Descendant fight. And also we need to read IO 48, because we have basically just been waiting to read that until we did the Athena god form. So I need to get my exploration cards out, because we're about to have to move on to a, well, not a new tile, but backtrack a bit. Let's just cut back over to this view. We are going to travel back east, I guess. Yeah, there's not really much else we can do there. So we're traveling back east. And let me pull up my scribe. We'll check off day 62. Wait, where? Oh, right. I had to move back the loop end. Okay, so this may slightly delay, or it'll make I think the beginning of this video take a little bit longer, but I think we'll be able to get to what we need to do still fairly quickly. I'll try to rush through that. But we need to, check off day 62 here. Then nothing. Oh, we need to do our exploration cards. So let's do that. We have Entropy's Embrace. Each Argonaut gains as many fate and or danger as you have. Oh, no. Now is when I draw this card. Really? Damn. All right, everybody's got to gain 2 fate and or danger. Okay, I am going to pause for a little bit, because I think I need to move around some equipment. I need to think about what my loadout is going to be for this upcoming 2B fight, so I can figure out how I want to allocate this fate and danger, because the danger could be important. So give me a couple minutes. All right, I think I got my layout roughly how I'll use it. There are some things that I optimized for, some things I didn't optimize for, but I'll get into that before the start of battle. But okay, at least I have my danger and fate applied here. I did preemptively craft another devolver because I wanted to just use that to make sure I figured out my loadout. So I did that a little bit early, but that's okay. Then, all right, so we did the fate and danger, then lose 2 paradox. Yeah, that is kind of unfortunate, honestly. And then 8 or more Argo fate or 4 or more paradox. Okay, so this is going to come out. We will continue drawing that pile. Gain 1 Titan, and then somebody can gain a rage. Okay. Let's gain the Titan. I'm gonna have the Truth Bearer gain the rage, I think. Maybe that's a bad idea, but we'll see. Okay. Then gain 6 Hyperborean alloy resources. We don't need to worry about that Argo fate gain. 6 Hyperborean alloy. Okay, so that pile is done. This pile, we have tightening the loop. 3 or more Argo fate. Okay, yeah, if this ability didn't trigger, gain 1 Argo or 1 paradox and remove the card until the next timeline battle. Okay. Gain a paradox. This has probably been one of the, like, I have gotten really good timing with tightening the loop here, because triggering this too early can really accelerate a lot of your bad Argo stats in terms of like Argo fate. Doom, like shortening the loop early in this cycle is pretty brutal. Remove. Oh no, remove until the next timeline battle. Yeah, okay. Next card. 5 Siren Shell resources. Okay. And then gain 1 Daedalus Machina resource. Yeah, we are on a Twilight Watch space. Cool. Go ahead and shuffle these back in. Then, let's see, we have a structural research. Okay, yeah, I think I need to use this for the technology that will allow me to go through time wounds. Yes, okay, I need this. Okay. I could, because we pushed back the loop end, I could just travel through here and go through the, like, basically I want to get to this time wound point here. Sorry, this view. I want to get to this time wound down here. Glare's kind of hard to see. Couldn't turn off. Yeah, that one works. Yeah, I want to get to the time wound down here. So I could just travel and go 1, 2, 3. That'd be 3 days to get down here. I think I'm just gonna end up doing. I will do the chrono sail to just restart the time loop. So I can go 1, 2 and get to this tile in 2, and then also reset the loop end. I'm not really optimizing to try to avoid doom gain there, but that's kind of intentional, and also I think I'll just set myself up better for being able to explore more after going through this time wound. So, oh no, wrong lights. There we go. So let's go back to this. Then I need to gain 1 Argo fate to activate the loop end effect for chrono sail. And so I will place my Argo on the time anchor space. Sorry, Ariadne's anchor. Then we now gain the one unavoidable, oh my gosh, I cannot talk. The one unavoidable doom. There we go. And now we reset our loop end. So it should be on day 67. We just shift it back a day. Loop end. And then we are going to be reading our Doom 2B card at the end of this day. There are no other technologies I want to use in the advancement phase or step, so I'm now going to go to our story step. We'll start with the Nemos breakthrough. And this is, what did we say? M16? No, it should be M6. I mistyped that. It should be M6.
The dream is more vivid now. You are drowning. Thick, viscous liquid clogs your throat, while something solid is thrust between your teeth. A jagged object that scours its way down into your airway. You cannot see. Why can you not see? Is there something over your eyes? You command your eyelids to part, but they will not respond. Every muscle in your body burns. Your organs are begging for relief. Why is there no respite? Why do they keep on doing this? Why did you volunteered. The memory comes rushing back to you. You stepped forward, willing to do this, to see the mission through. It was your choice to be conditioned this way, to do what must be done. So you clench your teeth and endure. After what seems like an eternity, a pair of cold hands grasp your shoulders, dragging you out of the cloying fluid. The claw-like grip pulls you up into the stale, metallic-tasting air, and you breathe deeply. Adaptations are proceeding as planned. The voice, somewhat muffled by the helm that encases your skull, drones in its flat monotone. 3 hours and 27 minutes. The longest a body has endured the submersion so far. But we can do better. Prepare them for another test tomorrow. More hands have you now, dragging you away. You cannot even respond, cannot voice your protest. You're not even sure you would want to. After all, isn't this what you signed up for?
Ooh, that's interesting. You may immediately discard a Fated Nemos card. Well, you know, it'd be nice if it was like, you can discard a Fated Nemos card from somebody else. But we see no effect from that. So we will move on to IO48. All this jumping around between Inward Odysseys.
Icarus returns home with a black eye and a wide grin. With each step, he feels the bruises on his body get worse, but he tries not to show it, tries not to cry. In fact, he is pleased with his trial at the academy. He hopes to make his father proud. The father waits for him on the doorstep, an unreadable expression on his somber face. He does not pay any attention to the bruises. All he is interested in is performance. Did the boy come first? Did he exceed mortal limits? No. He was just very good, not exceptional. The father is disappointed, his face a mask of regret and disgust paraded for the son to see, to etch it in his memory forever. I tried my best, the son says. It's hardly enough, answers the father. I am extraordinary, and you are a disgrace to my name. Sorry, father, Pity is for the weak-minded, the father interrupts. Have I not made you in my image? Have I not given you every advantage? Are you not more than mortal, and you still fail me? You are not worthy of my name. Father, there is time for you to ascend. So you will train, and you will learn, and you will want it like nothing else in the world, and you will try again and again until you succeed. Do this, and you will earn my love. Fail, and you may as well not return. Now the scene shifts. A different place, a different time. A different father and son. The son always wanted to be like the father, but the father always saw him as someone, no, something, lesser, impure. Father, the son, Phaeton, pleads, allow me this honor. Let me drive your chariot, and I will prove to you I am worthy of your love. My love is precious, Helios says, and I do not give it freely. But this, show me you deserve it. Show me your absolute devotion, and I will allow you to sit by the feet of my throne. And the son takes the chariot and attempts the dare. And he fails. And he falls, and is disowned for all time. But the father only needed a reason.
And they've obviously been kind of prevalent through the story so far, but this Inward Odyssey clearly has the parallels between Daedalus and his son Icarus with Helios and his son Phaeton. Gain the monomythological support technology card. Ooh. Okay, I'm going to do a little bit of correction here because technically I should have actually read this Inward Odyssey yesterday. I only put it off because I wanted to do it in this video, and I just wanted to jump into day 62. But technically, I should have had this technology card for today, which means I can craft it before I go into this Doom card. So I'm going to get that really quickly. We'll talk about why that might be important to do. We have the monomythological support. Stuff of legends, yet know that those legends failed. We get a number of things that we can craft with this. Let's take a look at each of them. They are all very unique. Some of them better than others. I'm sure I'm going to mispronounce these, but the first one we have is the Aristea Inducer. Unique Ascended. Each time you survive a noble, place one generic token on this card. Next time you perform an awakening roll, add +X to your roll, where X is the number of tokens on this card. Let me just read through all of them, and then I'll kind of discuss each one in more detail. Kakos Implant. Unique Ascended. Motivate 1. At the end of the Titan round, if you didn't attack this round, lose 1 fate. Homeric Engine. Unique Ascended. Reposition 1. When you're about to gain any fate as an ability cost, you may gain 1 danger instead of 1 fate once per round. And then the Agathos Agitator, Unique Ascended Reposition 1. When you attack for the first time each round, lose 1 fate. At the end of the Titan round, if you didn't attack this round, gain 2 fate. So to me, the one that stands out the most and the one that I used the most in a lot of my earlier, Mnestis Theater fights was the Aristea Inducer, because it's the first thing that we can use to reliably affect our awakening rolls. This is a really interesting card to pair with the Logic Breaker, since the Logic Breaker is going to be more likely to be drawing Obel cards. You can do Logic Breaker with the Aristea Inducer, 1 or 2 charges of second chance, and with a little bit of luck, you're hopefully surviving a couple of Obels, getting some tokens on this card, getting some bonus attacks in from the Logic Breaker's ability, and then when you're about to kick the bucket, you end up awakening instead. This is one that I'm considering trying to craft for this upcoming fight. Although what I'll probably do is I'm going to end up going into the I'm going to start reading through the Doom 2B stuff, and then when we get to the point where we're going to start the fight, this is going to be really embarrassing if the fight is not in this, but I'm like 99% sure the fight is at this part. I'm going to get to that point of the fight. I'm going to stop the video, and like when I'm stopped the video, like I'll pick it up later, but during that pause for me is when I'm going to be thinking about some of the things that I might want to do for this fight. So I'm reserving the right to do that. Then we have the Kakos implant. This one I think is kind of the worst of the group. Being able to get Motivate 1 is nice, especially if you don't really have many other charges of Motivate. Like our main source of motivation is Eye of the Watcher, which is the crit item from the Hypertime Oracle. So having a charge of Motivate is nice, but the rest of it, not so great. Like, you could try to make some support builds around, like a Titan who is just doing, like, not really prioritizing attacking, but I don't think you're going to get into ideal scenarios with that. So, I don't know. I would never try to aim for getting the lose one fate effect from this. The Homeric engine is pretty good. Reposition 1, great. But when you're about to gain fate as an ability cost, you may gain 1 danger instead of 1 fate. This is very nice for a couple of reasons. Obviously, you can control you get better control over your fate and danger gain. There's also very few things in the game that allow you to reliably gain danger. Reliably gaining danger in a controlled way can be extremely powerful for certain builds because you avoid drawing traumas or obols or whatever, but you start to unlock some of those danger gates in a more predictable manner. The unfortunate thing is that, like, I think as useful as I find this one, I usually end up having other things that I think just slightly edge it out, but Homeric Engine is great, especially within the cycle, where in C3 we're gaining a lot of fate and we could use a way to gain danger instead. And then the Agathis Agitator, it's fine, I think. I think it's better than a Kakos implant, but again, it's just not going to be good enough to beat some of the support items that we have access to at this point. Like we have access to a lot of really good support items, and only having 2 support slots per Titan is limiting. And I just never really find that the Agathis Agitator can like make its way into the loadout. That being said, if you have like a tank Titan and they have a commit weapon, then this can be a nice card to put on there to make sure that they can lose a fate when attack. Like they lose the fate before attacking with their weapon, or I should say before gaining the fate from commit. But yeah, I'm debating if, actually, I guess maybe I'll just craft the Aristea Inducer now, or see if I can. I'm not actually sure if I don't know what resources it costs. But, all right, so let's gain the technology, monomythological port, and then we'll go to cargo and gear, go down to our M's, monomythological support. We can craft the Aristea Inducer, Hyperborean Alloy 12, Frozen Ambrosia 16 or 15. Okay, craft that just so we have it. Cool. I wonder, what am I missing to be able to craft the Homeric Engine? Oh, I didn't have enough Razor Claw. Okay. Yeah, that Homeric Engine I actually would have considered trying to bring into this upcoming fight. But I'm kind of glad that I can't craft it because it at least answers that question for me. Now I'll have to try to force it in somewhere. All right, now we need to jump to our Doom 2B. Be or not to be. Let's go to this one. We need voiceover. And what paragraph do we need to go to? When there are 7 or more Doom tokens in this card, see paragraph 87. Main story. 87.
Dozens upon dozens of frantic cries echo through the air. The bustle of countless lives suddenly being uprooted, rising into the still skies above the city of Veltos. You walk the cobbled streets, directing your crew in the evacuation efforts. Titans help to carry heavy loads to the city boundaries, while Agrippa and her scouts are preparing vital supplies for the long road ahead. A shudder courses up your spines as you look around, the streets and squares hauntingly familiar to you. You have walked them before, far in the hoarfrost future. You have seen the burned husks of homes, the shattered statuary, the piled corpses, long since picked over by scavengers. You have seen the carcass of this place, the beachhead of the Spartan invasion. Veltos was the first city to burn during the Nietzscheans' crusade, consumed by the Spartan war machine, as the Empire strove to establish a foothold in the land. According to the tales of others, the Spartans arrived and razed the settlement in a single night, leaving no survivors. You intend to change that. The Imperial Armada may be too much for the Argo to handle alone, especially without your Laconian allies, but you can at least save the lives of the civilians. You stride into a large market square, now filled with people whose faces reflect the fear they are experiencing. In the midst of the crowd, standing atop a stack of crates, a yellow-robed priest bellows and berates the would-be refugees, red cheeks puffing out as he clamors for attention. Do not listen to the hysterics of the outsiders. Have faith in our Lord Helios. He has bestowed his benevolence upon this city, a safeguard to protect us from all dangers. At his words, you turn to look at the titanic structure that looms over the city, a massive tower of white marble banded with gold and copper. At its apex, a colossal sphere, a sun of gold, crystal, and polished black ice, gazes down over the city, an ever-watchful eye observing the townsfolk. When you arrived, bringing dire warnings of the Nietzschean, the Sun Heirs had been swift to dismiss them, claiming this benevolence of Helios, a potent defensive weapon, would protect them. As you are regarding the ancient tower, pondering its origin, a sudden cry arises from the seaward side of the city. Beyond the Argo and its fleet, dark shapes loom on the horizon, a vast armada of black ships, their sails of red and white boldly standing out on the waves.
Three options. Option 1. You need to buy more time for the people of Valtos to escape before the Spartan horde arrives. The Argo presents quite the target. If you are willing to risk it coming to harm, use the Argo to shield Adelphi in evacuation. Option 2. The Argo cannot come to harm, but your fleet can deploy from the Argo and slow the Spartans, even if it is only for a short time. The cost is likely to be high, but your crew are trained for this kind of situation. Use the Argo's auxiliary fleet to engage the Spartans at sea and slow their approach long enough for you to complete the evacuation. Option 3. If the priests are to be believed, the tower that looms over the city will be able to hold back the Empire, at least for a time. However, you know for a fact that the city has fallen once already, but perhaps it can buy enough time for the evacuation to be completed. Do you trust the faith put in a dead god? Focus on the evacuation and lead the defense of the city up to the priests and their benevolence. Option 1 is probably going to result in hull loss. Option 2 is probably going to be crew loss. I don't know what option 3 would be. Maybe Argo fate. Let's do option 1 because it's not going to result in actually changing any diplomacy.
In minutes, the city ship shudders, the waters behind it churning as the Aeolipylian engines come to life. It swerves out and away from the shoreline, making straight for the Spartan fleet with full speed. Support triremes cling to its sides, keeping pace with the behemoth. This was a formation developed in the fires of the Nietzschean War. You watch in tense silence, knowing that you are risking much. Before the Argo has even closed half of the distance, flaming boulders are being launched from the Spartan craft, peppering the waters around the city ship. A quinquireme emerges from the Spartan armada, pulling ahead. You feel your heart skip a beat as, even at this distance, you catch sight of a figure standing at its prow. Shining like a golden beacon, his robes of purest white flare out around him. A mane of flowing blonde hair falling carelessly onto his broad shoulders. The figure approaches the side of the ship and dives into the icy waters. There is a long, silent moment where nothing happens, the two fleets powering toward one another. Then, with the suddenness of a thunderbolt, the sea before the prow of the city ship erupts. A massive shape looming out of the waves, buried up to his waist in the sea. The monstrous Nietzschean's shadow towers far taller than your memory recalls. A terrifying humanoid figure that is almost as tall as the Argo's hull. The bare white bone of its skull gleams brightly, while clouds of black fumes and thick ambrosia vapors pour off its glistening hide. The Nietzschean roars. A titanic call that rumbles painfully in your ears, even at this distance. The Primordial rears up, raises both hands and lunges at the Argo. There is a terrible crash as the palms of its hands slam into either side of the prow, and the city ship comes to a sudden dead stop. Ice fills your veins at the sight. The Nietzschean bracing himself and standing firm against the full power of your home. You've tasted the raw power of the abyss once before, and bested it. But witnessing it on this scale...
Aha, I knew it. Lose one hull. Let's try to save against it, because I'm sure we're going to have a fight coming up. So we'll gain an Argo fate here. We need... oh gosh. We need to roll a 7 or higher. That's a 9. Ooh, we save against the hull loss. I wonder why the Nietzschean needed to dive into the water for this. Like, I don't know, maybe I'm missing something obvious, but it always seems like the Nietzschean is underneath of the shadow in some form. Like when we first meet him in Cycle 2, the Nietzschean dives into the water then. When we fought the Nietzschean in the Temple of Man, like the Nietzschean is below the shadow. I don't know. See paragraph 91.
Your hearts sink. The plan to slow the Spartan fleet while you evacuate the city has been a complete and utter failure. The Nietzschean himself is leading the invasion, and while he and his monstrous counterpart are present, you have no hope of slowing the advance. But there are still people in the city, people who need to get to safety. There is no choice but to engage the Spartan vanguard directly. You muster what troops you can, Delphians and Argo crew members alike, and make for the docks. At least you can make the Spartans' attempts at landfall as costly as possible.
If P4 is marked, see 92.
The first of the Spartan warships rushes toward the Veltos docks. bristling with red and white clad warriors. And there, leading the charge, stands a tall figure that you recognize. The man you had once known as the scarred veteran, though still without the scars. He stands taller than any other warrior in his crew, the broad hide shield he is so well known for carrying held firm in one hand, while a long bronze spear rests in the other. He leaps from the prow of his ship, descending on a clutch of Delphian defenders, and is lost to your sight in the chaos of the battle. Here is where he will get scarred and see the truth of the Nietzschean. History repeats itself.
Ooh, that's a fun little bit of information. All right. So we see Ajax facing off against Achilles. I blanked on Achilles' name there for a second. All right, let's go back to this. Looks like we're going to do some tests here. Each Argonaut tests Fury or Courage. You may gain 1 rage to add 1 or plus 3 rage to add plus 2. Ooh. I think it's pretty obvious who we're going to be fighting at this point, so I can talk about some of the thought process here. Gaining 1 rage with everybody seems pretty good, but do I want to gain 3 rage with anybody? Take a look at this as well, and then I need to check. Another Argonaut can gain plus 1 courage. Okay. So we have Aster has plus 2 to courage, Thursigard has plus 2 to courage, Odyssey has plus 3 to courage, Herakleides has plus 1 to fury. Okay, maybe let's start with Aster, because I think I'm only going to gain 1 rage with her. I don't want her starting the fight at 4 rage, that's too much. So she would normally need a 9 or higher. It goes down to 7. She needs a 6 or higher right now. That's a 3. Let's fate reroll that. That's still a 3. Damn. All right, so she is going to gain a danger. That's already going to lock me out of one of the success routes. Let's go next with Otis 0. Let's just gain 1 rage with him. Green, so he's going to have plus 4, so he needs a 5 or higher. It's a 9, so that's a success. Let's just do plus 1 rage for everybody. So let's do Thursigard is going to give Herakleides 1 courage. Oh, I guess actually it doesn't really matter there. So yeah, Herakleides will go next. He'll gain a rage. Then he needs a 7 or higher. A 10. That's 2 successes. Then Thursigard, what do you need? You're going to gain a rage, so you're going to have plus 3 totally, so you need 6 or higher. That's a 7. Okay, so we have 3 successes, 1 failure. And we need to see paragraph 94.
The heart of the battle centers over the docks, where countless Spartan warriors spill from their warships. The numbers are truly daunting, and you cannot hold them back for long. You commit to the grim task of defending choke points, funneling enemies into positions where your javelineers can pick them off, and fighting up close and personal with the most dangerous of the Spartan forces. You hold out for longer than you had hoped, but finally the tide begins to turn against you. The Spartans have begun to flank you and are pressing in on multiple fronts. This is much more than the Nietzschean mustered at Sparta. And the strangest thought crosses your minds. How could the Nietzschean fail here? What has defeated him in Delphi? Ordering the retreat, you gather up what wounded you can reach.
We gain a Blade Nymph's bonus summoning charge, so I'm going to mark that on our Blade Nymph card here. Move along.
You press on through the tight streets, keeping just ahead of the advancing Spartan ranks. The red and white clad warriors harry at your heels, like dogs snapping at prey. Then, with no warning, they stop. You hesitate, unsure why they would give up their chase like this. You emerge into a wide agora, wary that perhaps there may be a trap lying in wait for you. Silence falls across the city as the Spartan legions keep their distance. And then, finally, he emerges. The Nietzschean appears exactly like the first time you met him. Pristine features, statuesque frame, immaculate robes bound with a golden girdle, billowing mane of shimmering hair, matched only by the icy blue of his eyes. He turns an arrogant, superior smile toward you, extending his hands to either side in greeting.
Ah, I see the Argo has found some new champions,
he proclaims.
Did they take you or make you?
He laughs cruelly.
Is Trismegistus with you? It has been too long.
Not for us, the party leader snorts. The Nietzschean smiles his thin, cold smile, a flicker of confusion flashing in his eyes. He does not understand your meaning, and your familiarity in speaking with him is clearly puzzling to him.
Tread carefully. I am the Nietzschean, the embodiment of my empire's strength, God among men.
Realization dawns upon you. He has no idea who you are. At this point in his path, he has never met you. Maybe this is a chance for a different outcome. An opportunity to reach him before he is consumed by the abyss of hatred and misery. Are you now here to change the predetermined course of the world?
We have 4 options here. Option 1. You've seen this tyrant fall once before. You know all of his weaknesses. The foremost is his pride. Make him seem lesser in front of his men. It may put him off balance and give you an edge. Oh, that's funny. Option 2. This version of the Nietzschean has not fought against the time-twisted primordials of Delphi, nor has he overseen the downfall of Laconia into the chaos. Perhaps if you reason with him, warn him of the things to come, he will change his course. Option 3. The Nietzschean only responds to one thing, and that is strength. Establish that you are not to be trifled with and demand his respect. Maybe it'll make him pause and listen to what you have to say. Option 4. The Nietzschean was once immortal, just like you. He was a hero, some would say. Perhaps in his earlier time there is still some part of him that you can reach out to, inspire. Ooh, all right, I'm a little torn between 1 and 4. I mean, 4 I think is what the Argonauts would do, but 1 is pretty hilarious. Yeah, you know what? Screw it. There's no way we're going to be able to change things. Like, I think it's funny just to be like, yes, yeah, we know who you are. All right, let's do 97.
I am.
Yes, we know. One of you cuts off the Nietzschean mid-breath. The great and mighty Spartan king who will lead the mortal world into a glorious new age. Strength, weakness, all that tripe. Yes? Well, you're in for the ride of your life. The Nietzschean's eyes narrow at your words and your mocking tone. Behind him, you see a few Spartan warriors looking aghast, eyes shifting to one another. Clearly, they are unused to seeing their leader so challenged. You feel buoyed by the thrill of the jibes, relishing in the knowledge you have that your adversary does not possess.
Subtract an Argo Fate. Go down to 1 Argo Fate.
Boldness is not courage, and challenge is not strength.
The towering figure growls, a deadly rumble of thunder undercutting his words.
Will you jest when I've strewn your innards like the Gordian knot?
Oh, he's a little upset. Poor guy.
The Nietzschean shrugs, a haughty smirk clinging to his lips.
Don't waste my time. There.
He points to the blemish in the sky, which you know to be the sun's domain.
The throne of dawn and dusk. Mine. Icarus will not stop me, nor Phaeton, nor the impotent clergy of a dead god. And certainly not you.
You failed to hide your surprise at the mention of Icarus. The Nietzschean merely sneers.
Has he whispered sweet nothings to you too? Such a weakling, ever in his father's shadow.
He can stop the eschaton, the party leader growls.
Is that what he told you?
The Nietzschean laughs.
Even if that were true, why would I seek to extinguish the pyre which birthed me? It was a gift to all mortal kind. The divine shackles are off. Now climb out of the mud!
Nothing changes.
My thoughts exactly. When I saw the Argo, I'd thought maybe I would finally find a peer that could test me. But of course, all the worthy puppets of Trismegistus are either dead or gone rampant. Are you all that is left?
He waves a hand toward you dismissively and turns away from you.
Go back to whatever hole you've crawled out of. Await a summons from a mortal god.
He walks back toward the ranks of his Spartan warriors. You have a chance to retreat to the Argo, but what you do next is entirely up to you.
Option 1. The city has been evacuated. The only people who remain here are your forces and the stubborn few who would not leave. This is the Nietzschean in his prime, before he learns the taste of defeat here in Delphi. If you engage him, you risk much. You don't have your allies with you, and he seems strangely stronger than before. Better to walk away, even if it means allowing the Spartans to ravage the land. Option 2. You have defeated the Nietzschean once before. Perhaps you can do it again. If you kill him here, you will avert the entire Delphian campaign and change the course of your own past. Surely that is worth a shot, no matter the risks involved. Yeah, absolutely we're doing option 2. Let's go, baby. Return to the Argo to junction with your Titans and engage the Nietzschean in battle to change the fate of Valtos and Delphi as a whole. Gain 1 paradox. So we're going up to 2 paradox now. Choose this at your own risk, C105. Yeah, I'm dumb. I'm going to risk my shit.
You rush back to the Argo, ordering the philosophers of the last academy to begin preparing your Titans for battle. You join with the lumbering giants, deploying from the city ship with all haste. The Nietzschean has already unleashed his monstrous shade, stalking through the burning ruins of the polis with sword in hand. As your Titans make landfall, he turns to you with a loud snarl, and his booming voice echoes across the devastation of Veltos.
Yes, a challenge! Excellent!
He laughs, raising his blade eagerly.
And here I was worrying that there would be no real tests of my strength in this land.
He drops into a ready stance, gleaming white skull grinning as he prepares to meet you in combat.
Let's go, baby! You will now go to a special What Are You battle. This battle sees the Nietzschean at full power. Use the following setup. Alright, I am going to take a break here because I need to go to work. When I come back, we will get into this battle, have everything set up. I'll talk about the whole fight, and I'll talk about, I think there are some things about this fight that are not clear, if I remember correctly. Okay, we don't have the ult for one trait. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, all right, so I will be back shortly. Yeah. Welcome back to me. We have our battle set up here. I'm not super confident that everything is correct. The setup instructions are a little weird because it tells you to do the, let me pull up the instructions here. It tells you to do the what are you battle, but then there's a lot of exceptions. And the what are you battle typically has like the time and edge markers and allows you to get some bonuses from your allies. And I don't think that's supposed to be the case. I was trying to find some answers on Discord too, and I don't think the devs ever responded with like a firm answer on how you're actually supposed to do this battle. But I think the general consensus is you're basically just doing a cruel lesson battle and disabling the stay your hand trait. Yeah, I think the intent is that it's supposed to be a hard fight. You're not supposed to get the bonuses from the what are you battle and the time and edge markers because like also timeline wise, you're not really allied with those factions yet. So we'll just be doing a fight with the Nietzschean. We'll be disabling the stay your hand trait. We still have the dangerous sense. We still have end of hope. We still have the strong eat. We still have weapon master. Along with having some of our cycle 3 things active, we're using backwards momentum. We ignore the death would be a release trait, so the Titans don't get, what's it called? They don't get crippled, they just get killed. We ignore the all for one trait, so we don't, it's going to be hard to wound a BP3, and I'll talk about that in a second. We can't escape from the battle, and we just have to kill him by dealing 12 wounds or die trying. This is a very hard fight, and it should be. It's an optional fight. You don't have to do it. But we're going to give it a shot, and we'll see how we do. I do still have the, I can't remember the name of the technology, the final tier, whatever it is. Because we can't use Sisyphus tiers, I do only have that one final tier charge that I can use once every like 20 days. So I expect to need that now. I'm kind of treating this first attempt as like a, I think I have a decent chance of doing it, but like I'm kind of preparing as this is like a warm up against the Nietzschean again, and we'll see how it goes. I might have to do a second attempt, but this is my first attempt at this. Well, first attempt this playthrough, obviously. Let me do the Titan loadouts, and then I'll talk about why I chose those things for the loadouts. Maybe I'll end up switching things after I talk through it. But yeah, let me do that view. We'll talk about the Titan loadouts, we'll talk about the general strategy, and then we'll get into the fight. So for the first thing about this fight, let's talk about BP3s. The BP3s are going to range in AT value from like 16 to 18, I think. 16 being the lowest that you can get. But you would have to be able to, I think all the 16s have hardened on them, so you'd have to be able to ignore hardened if you want to get that lowest possible value on a BP3. And so for that reason, I'm using just the normal 13th Muse Grand Cannon, where the first shot is a thing that allows us to ignore hardened on, or gain armor piercing for an attack. I could potentially also use it for combo breaking, but I don't think, I'm like 70% sure I'm gonna not use it for that, at least initially. Like I want to have a charge of the hardened breaker shot, what's it called? The armor piercer shot. I want to have a charge of that stored up so that I can have a better chance of wounding a BP3 if the time comes up. Even then, it's still going to be hard to wound those BP3s. Like for instance, I'm going to be changing, or I'm going to be treating the Game Changer like they're kind of a setup Titan. So the Hope 4 on Daedalus Flight is awesome for trying to be able to set up for a nice attack. Meanwhile, the Truth Bearer is going to be the main damage dealer. Like if a BP3 comes up, or I should say, I would like to be able to do a BP2 with Game Changer, and then hopefully a BP3 would come up and it would land nicely so we could do the next attack with Truth Bearer. So that way, by the time we get to Truth Bearer's power roll, the Truth Bearer has like 5 hope tokens, maybe a break or 2 in there as well. But let's say we drew a BP card and it was a AT of, the BP3 was an AT of 18. I think that'd be worst case scenario. And we were looking at like 5 hope tokens in the pool. Even if we met the danger gates for Devolver and Argo Cryptex Gamma, so we were getting 2 bonus power on the attack. And we'll even assume that we had Death Follows first ability with the extra red die from there. We have the extra red die from Truth Bearer's level 4, or Kratos 4. We'd be looking at an attack that he'd be doing 4 red, 3 black. That's like an 18% chance to wound on a BP3, assuming like that assumes we already hit. If we bring that down to an AT value of 16, we're looking at like a 55% chance to wound. Again, assuming we already hit. So it's going to be hard. We can't do the combined attacks from All for One. We don't have something like the bonus power from the Sun Descendants VP spots. So wounding a BP3 is still going to be hard despite me having great Titans and great weapons. Which is part of the reason I'm bringing the Primordial lore, is that if I get unlucky and I have a BP3 early, I'd prefer not to have to just attempt to wound it and do the fail, because the fail effects can be brutal. So the Primordial lore is going to cost me 3 fate to use it. I don't want to have to use it, but it's there if I need it. But the Shadow Dancer is going to be gaining a lot of fate anyway from various effects, so we'll see. But like I mentioned, the Game Changer is going to be kind of hopefully the setup Titan for those BP3s, although that's still going to be kind of hard to time, because it's going to be like, I want to be able to hit a BP2 with Game Changer and then go into a BP3 with Truth Bearer. Can't guarantee that's going to happen. I already talked about with Truth Bearer, I have the 2 danger gated effects on here to be able to get extra power. I'm already at 3 danger. I would need to get 7 danger to be able to get those, which is why I have the prototype Trespass device on him, so that he can maybe take an attack and have a higher chance of surviving. But if he doesn't survive, then we can use the prototype Trespass device to bring him back at his time anchor. The other big way that Truth Bearer can help out here is by having the Hero by Mistake, Nemos, where he can get the priority target token, which will be nice because I think we're still supposed to play this as a C2 fight, in the sense of, well, actually it's listed on the Weapon Master trait. So you can only get the priority target token, or sorry, let me rephrase that. You cannot get the priority target token by rage gain, is how I'm still interpreting this fight. It has to be either through combo breaking or through something like this, the Hero by Mistake, where you can actually get that, just forcefully get that priority target token. So Truth Bearer will be pulling off the priority target token from Shadow Dancer, who is our only Titan with a combo breaker ability. That alone could be a mistake, that she's the only one with a combo breaker, because I think all the combo breaker gear, there's some shields that are self combo breaker that aren't flammable, but generally all the combo breaker like support items, or I guess in this case the armor, it's flammable. So if Shadow Dancer gets caught in a bad attack, we could lose our ability to break combos. That's one of the main ways, like other than not being able to wound a BP3, losing that combo breaker ability is a way I could see myself losing this fight. But Shadow Dancer is kind of decked out in a bunch of different gear. We have the Dahaka Blade on her, so we'll probably be needing to use a Pygmalion Stone to save her, regardless of if she kills herself with the Dahaka Blade or if she just dies from other things. But we have the Dahaka Blade, we have a couple of shields. So this setup would at least allow us to get through the first 2 combos that we would need to break, which I'm hoping should be enough. Hopefully we can do this in 3 Titan rounds. If we go beyond 3 Titan rounds, I think our chances of winning significantly drop. Ooh, actually, something I could do to maybe change this. 1 second. I could swap out, I might do this. I'm going to swap out the Shade Shield for the Exo Aegis. because worst case scenario, I could always transform the Exo Aegis into the Razor Bow and then be able to combo break the all 3 types of combos from the Nietzschean. So already deviating a bit from our Titan loadouts, but that's okay. My biggest concern with Shadow Dancer outside of the combo breaker item being flammable is the amount of fate that we could be gaining with her. Because the Primordial lore, if she has to use that, that's going to be 3 fate by itself. We could be gaining fate from having to block. We could be gaining fate from... what was I going to say? Oh, from attacking, because if we're attacking with the Haka Blade, we have to commit. That's a lot of ways that she's going to be gaining fate. So I debated about swapping out Ambrosia Containment Argo ability for, Fate Converter. But I don't know, I think Shadow Dancer will have an outlet for that fate if she needs it from using Shalusalem. I did debate if I wanted to put Atlantean Oscillator on something like the Haka Blade or Shalusalem and then maybe giving Siren Mask to Shadow Dancer as well, but honestly I think the main reason I didn't was because I didn't feel like figuring out how to fit it on the loadout here, because then I had to be like tucking Atlantean Oscillator underneath the card. I don't know, at some point I'm going to have to be doing that, because as we go through the cycles, our gear slots are going to be getting filled up, and they're going to be looking more like this as opposed to something like this. But lastly, I want to get into the fight here, because I'm not going to have that much time to actually do this fight this morning. Damn it. Because I talk too much and I do too much setup. For Herakleides / Firestarter, I wasn't sure who I really wanted to bring in for this slot. I ultimately went with Firestarter because Firestarter is just a good Titan overall. We don't have to worry about him getting knocked down. We can ignore the strong eat trait, so that's a little bit of a bonus. Plus, he also gets the extra support slot, and that was kind of the main reason I wanted to just add him. Was I'm already losing a support slot from Game Changer. I do at least have the support specialization on Shadow Dancer, so she's great right now. She has 3 hands and 3 accessory slots, so it's like a souped up Earthshaker Titan. But yeah, with the Firestarter, we gave him another Devolver, so having that range will hopefully help make up for some of the less movement that he has. But we also have the spherical armor on him, so he does have extra movement. Obviously, I'm using some gear that you may not have if you're at this point. For example, you may not have already, like the first time I did my playthrough, I did this fight before I did the Burden Hardness to Bear fight. So I didn't have the spherical armor. I think that was probably the main thing I didn't have from that. So I don't think the spherical armor is like some crazy overpowered item for this fight. It is nice to have, and I've obviously been using it all the cycle, but I think there's other decent armors that you can use in this fight, like one of which, the Exile's Garb, I really debated about trying to bring, because it's just a great gear overall, but I think at this point I'm going to rely a little bit more on armor dice, as well as having the abilities from spherical armor where we can reduce the ambrosia gain. Is nice to have. I'm going to talk about that more in a second, but let's see what else here. Oh yeah, also, like, you might not have you're probably not going to have the Shadow Dancer Titan. You're probably not going to have the Truth Bearer Titan. Maybe you'll have the Truth Bearer Titan if you did the Burden Hardness to Bear fight already. But if you don't have them, I would swap them out with like Shadow Dancer, who I would probably put in her place as maybe like, what's it called? The Returner. Because the Returner's ability of Cheat Fate or Cheat Death, being able to just reliably draw a You Live Obol for that first Obol is phenomenal. Especially in this fight where like we're going back to having the strong eat trait where there's an extra You Died Obol. So having a Titan that is guaranteed to be able to survive one Obol is awesome. That could also, like, you could stack her really well with the, Aristea Inducer, where at least with Shadow Dancer with the Cyclopean Hand Mirror, I'll at least know what that first trauma or what that first Obol draw is going to be. But with Returner, you're guaranteed to be able to get an extra charge on that Aristea Inducer. Then in place of Truth Bearer, you could maybe have somebody like the Logic Breaker or the Earthshaker. The Logic Breaker is somebody who, like, if you're just trying to go for a build that you're just trying to get a bunch of bonus attacks off of. The Logic Breaker is it could make this fight swingy, could make it a little bit easier / faster, but it could also screw you a little bit. So Earthshaker, on the other hand, could give you more flexibility. If you brought Earthshaker, then Earthshaker is probably getting Daedalus Flight. That way you can make Earthshaker your support or whatever, like your setup Titan, and then Game Changer becomes your heavy hitter. So I have a lot of advantages going into this fight compared to like how I did it last time, compared to how you would probably be going into this fight, and I still feel very uncertain of how this is going to go, because it is really just going to come down to, I think, our luck on doing the power roll on the BP3 that comes up, or how often we're pulling BP3s. Like if we start pulling BP3s really early, that's gonna suck. But we'll see. All right, I am how far into this part of the video? I am 16 minutes into this part from when I actually had the battle board set up. I want to actually get something started. I'm not going to be able to finish this iteration of the fight before I have to go to work, but let's get something started here. Oh, sorry, one last note. I mentioned Ambrosia gain. I'll say I've already talked about a few ways that I think this fight can go wrong. One thing that I think can go wrong is that I might be over focusing on the Ambrosia gain aspect of this. I feel like I've done that before. I debated about what I wanted to put in this Argo ability slot. I have our Ambrosia containment, but the reason that might be a bad idea is that like I already have a number of ways to be able to deal with the Ambrosia, where Game Changer and Firestarter both have armor that can lower Ambrosia gain to 1. Then we also have Truthbearer, who has Burden, who can pull Ambrosia tokens off of people. We have Truthbearer and Game Changer, who have Elation. So I might be over focusing on that. I may be better off having swapped Ambrosia containment for, maybe I want to do that, swapping it for the Rage Gain Argo ability. No, I'm going to keep it as is for now. I may most likely have to do this fight a second time. And at that point, I will maybe swap out Ambrosia containment for, I can't remember the other Argo ability name, but that might be a change I make there. I know I have other start of battle effects that I need to resolve that aren't Ambrosia, so let me scan for those. I think we have, I'm not going to do the Argo Cryptex beta because we have the AI 0 starting off on top, so like we don't need to worry about going first with that. Start of battle, Cyclopean Hand Mirror, we do need to worry about that. So let me draw our Obel here. You live, okay. That is, I'm going to take that as a good omen here. And let's, this is an important battle. Let's just shuffle these all on the camera over here, and then we'll throw them in the corner. 3, 2, 1. Okay, roll our die. 2, 1, 2. And we'll stick those over in the corner. Yeah, there we go. And actually, 2 more quick things before I get into this battle. I was just happened to be talking with somebody on Discord about this fight because I was asking a question about something, and I'm going to change a little bit of stuff here. I think the time front actually supposed to still be in this fight. It's a little bit hard to interpret what the setup for this fight is supposed to be. But I think maybe we're supposed to have the time front on this side, and then we'll just have some like Spartan Riverworks tiles to represent the Argo, maybe. Yeah, because the wording is like, oh, put the Argo tiles on the opposite side. It's not clear of what opposite side means there, and also because the Argo is on the opposite side of the time front, it's a little weird there, but whatever. They probably didn't account for that because this is only one battle that you're ever doing where you're going to have both the time front and the Argo hull in the same fight, as I'm trying to put tokens here. Okay, there we go. So those Spartan Riverworks tiles are actually our Argo hull. The other thing that I didn't really mention for strategy that is really important is if you know this fight is coming up, it's very helpful because you can stockpile your nymphs, and I have been doing that. I was not using my like special nymphs in this story card so far, partly because I didn't really need them yet. The other part is because I knew that this fight was going to be coming up soon, as well as we're going to maybe be having some difficult fights with the Haka soon. So we have a bunch of nymphs that we will be able to use in this. I mean, the ones that I will probably be using are like a Malthian nymph to maybe save a Titan. The Nietzschean nymph, like we are probably going to need to awaken somebody. That is going to help us with wounding BP3s. Solitude Nymph will be great for being able to save us during an AI draw. And then Blade Nymph, again, that might be something I put on Truthbearer to be able to give him an extra chance of wounding. Doing this is going to lead to us probably doing another Dehaka battle really soon. But nymphs are something where like take advantage of them while you're in the campaign, because if you're doing the Mnestis Theater, and like in my first playthrough of the cycles 1 through 3, I didn't use nymphs all that much. I used them like very rarely, and I kind of regretted it because then when I started doing the Mnestis Theater, you can't use nymphs there, and I was disappointed because I was like, oh, I didn't feel like I took advantage of the nymphs when I was in the fights. In a fight like this, I'm sure I used nymphs in the first playthrough because I don't know how I would have done it without using nymphs. But okay, I digress. Let's get into the battle. We will have our sorely missed AI0, Lot of the Weak. Come and I will use only my left hand. Arms akimbo, the Nietzschean throws his head back and laughs at you. Target is random Titan. Put that there, and we will roll our dice here. We'll do lowest roll gets targeted. The lowest roll is going to be our Truth Bearer. It was not... dang, okay. So he's going to be getting another rage early. Not what I was hoping for, because now I'm really concerned about rage gain with him. It's only one rage, but now I'm like, I already made a mistake. Now we will escalate one. We'll move the top BP1. Put the BP2 in here. 3, 2, 1. BP1. Oh, sorry. AI1 comes out. AI2 goes in. 3, 2, 1. AI2. End the primordial round and place this card on the bottom. And place this card on the AI discard pile. Never remove it from the bottom of the deck. Blah blah blah. I'll put it right here. He deserves to make fun of me right now because I'm a little terrified of him in his full power form. Let's start off by trying to prime our 13th Muse here. We're gonna roll a die, and we need to get a... Actually, hold on first. I'm doing some practice rolls right now because I haven't warmed up my dice yet, so we're gonna get a few practice rolls in here. We've really just gotta warm up these crit dice, get the bad rolls out of them. All right, we're getting some bad rolls out. Okay. All right, I feel like they're primed for some crits coming up here. All right, so now we're gonna try to prime our Armor Piercer shot. That's a 9. That does prime. That is fantastic. Okay, so we will keep that, and I might just keep that primed, basically waiting for a BP3 to come up. Ooh, I need to get another token here for Game Changer. Now I'm going to be talking to this out loud because it'll help me. Because I already feel like I'm forgetting things in this fight. Just because it's weird with it being the Nietzschean, I'm thinking about cycle 2 things, but I'm also trying to remember all the cycle 3 things. But in thinking about who wants to go first, like I really hate that after my first attack, I'm going to be at 4 rage already with Truthbearer. Yes, that's nice for power. I am really concerned about rage gain with him. Really thinking I should have not brought Ambrosia Containment and should have brought something else. I'm gonna swap it out. Sorry, I only get 2 chances at this fight. Yes, I'm getting a little bit of extra information. because I know that the rage is going to Truthbearer. Sorry, I feel like I have ways to deal with the Ambrosia, and I don't have really ways to deal with forced rage gain, so I feel a little bit better doing this. Definitely cheating though, because I have information. I'm sorry. Don't kill me. If I win this fight, you can put an asterisk next to it. But sorry. I feel bad doing it, especially because it's a hard fight, but whatever. I'm going to get over it. But okay, thinking out loud about who I want to go first. I want to save Truthbearer because he's going to have so much power to be able to do an attack that I don't know if I want him to go first on just a BP1. I think the BP1s are going to be, they're like, what, 4 to 7 or 5 to 7 AT? Though he's the only Titan who gets an auto token. So maybe I do go first with him. I think I want to go later with Shadow Dancer because she's our combo breaker Titan, so I want to make sure that we're kind of positioning her well. Okay, maybe I just need to go first with Truthbearer and start off, like, that'll give me the best chance of starting off this fight with a wound as opposed to a failure. And I think that can have a huge effect on the game. So let's do that. We're gonna go first with Truthbearer. And we reestablish your time anchor. Boom. I am gonna have you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go there. Maybe remind myself on what hit. I'm gonna have to remember what all the little abilities are that we get for each of these, each of the Titans, or each of the Argonauts, I should say. Crit chance is -1 fate. And you get opening 1. Okay. Let's do an attack, going up to 4 rage already. We will have +2 to precision. And we get an extra die from Atlantean Oscillator. So we need a 7 or higher. Okay, that's 2 hits. Let's keep this, and then we're going to use Spiral on this. So we'll lose a fate, go down to 0 fate. Reroll this, see if we can crit. Nope, that's a 2. Okay. So we do not crit, but we will get Auto Hope 1. Draw our BP card. Ambrosial Vesicle. AT of 5. Wound, we would get an Ambrosia token. Ah, dang, we could have had a bonus attack if we crit. It's okay. That's okay. We'll have other opportunities. So we need, what? 3 black, right? And 3 red. We have that Auto Hope 1. So we're going to need, we have no bonus power right now. Okay, so we need 5 on the dice here. We have 1 power reroll. Yeah. Oh boy. That's all over the place, but 1, 2, 3, 4. Just enough. Let's power reroll this just for fun. Okay, cool. We will gain an Ambrosia. I guess I could have done, well, I guess that actually is probably a good thing I didn't. It wouldn't have mattered, but it's probably a good thing I didn't do Burden in the first ability window. Good thing I forget. So this will come out. I'll go there. We need a counter die. That there. Get a BP2 in our deck here, and we just pray for a BP1. 3, 2, 1. BP1. AI 1 comes out. AI 2 goes in. 3, 2, 1. AI 2. Like, I can't get rid of this nagging feeling that I'm really forgetting something about this fight right now. It's really bothering me because I don't know if it's just me. I don't know. After this Titan turn, I'm just going to sit and think about what could I have forgotten to do with this fight so far. But this will come out. We will get break 3 from our Devolver. Devolver is so good, and we can get other things that'll make it even better, and I can't wait for that. Wish I had him for this fight. We get to ignore Cumbersome because Truthbearer will have Tireless. Let's see. We'll have a total of Elation 2 here. So we will get rid of 2 of our Ambrosia tokens and get 2 opening. We're also going to burden 1. So we're going to pull in Ambrosia from Shadow Dancer. Then we'll get 2 break, an opening and a hope. 2 break. Opening, hope, and rouse 1. That's another thing that in this fight, I feel like maybe I should have swapped out my Siren Masks for other things, like maybe more combo breaking things to be a little bit more safe. I could see, if I have to do this a second time, I could see myself changing that out, because in theory, the rouse is not going to be as important for the Nietzschean fight. We should have plenty of rage. For reposition, let's just go here. I don't want to get you too far away, but I will keep you in a safer distance. Although I do need you to get attacked kind of early. We'll figure that out. And that will end Truthbearer's turn. All right, I just reread through things. I don't think I'm missing anything, but I'm gonna be really annoyed at myself if, like, I mean, this video, I think it's gonna be coming out close to a month from when I'm filming it. So if I forgot something important, I'm going to be really annoyed because it'll be way too late to have changed anything. Oh, I do want to check something. On the signature, it is 5 or more rage to perform another combo. Okay. I'm going to go next with Game Changer. We need to reestablish your time anchor, and then let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Darn, another gear oversight is that it's not really that useful to have Siren Mask with the Daedalus Flight if I'm not using the Atlantean Oscillator with Daedalus Flight, because I'm probably not going to be trying to spiral since I only have 1 die. I just don't want to risk full missing. In hindsight, maybe I should have put Primordial Lore on Game Changer and given Siren Mask to Shadow Dancer. We'll have 1 die do. Oh, I need to attack first, so we'll gain a rage, gain a fate. Oh wait, I should have, not that it matters, I should have an extra opening here from Aster. But I think we're already at a point where we just would only miss on a 1. End of turn, if I'm in front and adjacent, I lose a fate. End of turn, if you didn't oh, we can't get that. And then also if we, okay, so we have a number of ways we're going to lose fate with you. Okay, that's good. So we have plus a lot. So we just only miss on a 1. It's a 3. I'm not going to risk it. We'll take that. Okay, draw our BP card here. Right leg, AT value of 3. It's hardened, so it's going to be 5. Fail, gain a rage, escalate, wound, gain 3 danger, and during the second... Dang, that would have been perfect for Truthbearer. 3 danger is exactly what we need with Truthbearer. No, actually, we need 4 danger. Okay. So we have 3 black dice and a white, right? We're basically at 3 rage because of the rouse. Okay. So we need 5 on the dice. That is, woo, nice. That's great. I don't know what that noise was. It's going to be a more excited woo, and then I toned it back. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11-ish. Should I have had Daedalus Flight be my like, power hitting weapon? I don't know. Maybe. Should I have given Daedalus Flight to Truthbearer? Well, I'll think about these things if I have to do another attempt. Those will come out. Gain 3 danger, and during the second ability window, place 2 additional break tokens. Let me put these off to the side here. 3 danger puts us at 4 danger. Then this will go into our wound stack. We're at 2 wounds. Get another BP2. Let's keep our BP1 train going. 3, 2, 1. BP1! Okay. That is a very important part of the fight here. AI1 comes out. AI2 goes in. 3, 2, 1. AI2. Come on, get in there. All right, clear this out. And we're going to get Hope 4 from our weapon. Hope, come on. Hope 3, 4. We'll get another Rouse. We'll get... We have Elation, so let's lose 1 Ambrosia. And get an opening token. Then let's do 2 opening and a break. Oh, and then we get the extra 2 break tokens as well. I will gain 2 fate to use the level 3 of a Night to Remember. I'm going to lose 1 fate because I put at least 5 Kratos tokens in there. Then I'm going to lose another fate because we are ending the turn in front and adjacent to the Primordial. I will end Game Changer's turn. Maybe I'll go with Shadow Dancer next because going with her now would allow me to use pole position on her Kratos table to get in the Nietzschean's blind spot. So that would be, wouldn't help for the attack roll, but it would at least help for the tokens we can leave. And then we can go last with Firestarter, who would be able to use Motivate, get Game Changer out of the way, and maybe we can plan on Firestarter being the next Titan to get, or the first Titan to get hit with an attack. Okay, I think that seems reasonable. Maybe I should have planned it out differently so that Truthbearer would have been the first Titan to get hit with an attack, but also I don't mind not trying to get Truthbearer hit just yet because of all the Ambrosia that he has right now, and the fact that I took the Ambrosia thing out of my Argo abilities. It's going to be really comedic and karmic if I end up losing a critical Titan because of Ambrosia gain. But let's reestablish Shadow Dancer's Time Anchor. Then we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gain a Rage and a Fate to attack with the Dahaka Blade. We'll have +5 total to hit. Yeah, +5 total. So we need a 4 or higher. It's a 6 and a 7. I'm not going to push my luck for a crit. Not going to do it. Can I do pole position in the first ability window? I think I can, right? Yeah, we can. The first ability window, we'll just go here. We can flip this over. I think that's all we have for the first ability window. Okay, let's draw AI card or BP card. Hardened Ambrosial Skin, AT value of 4, but it gets bumped to a 6 because it's hardened. No wound effect. All right, that's going to be 3 black, 2 red. Let's get some of these dice on better sides here just so they're feeling better about themselves. Give them that confidence boost. 3 black, 2 red is right, correct? Yes. All right, and we have a bonus power, so we need 5 on the dice here. That black is cocked. Okay, that's 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, something more than that. We are good. These early BPs are not a problem for us. No wound effect, so we will just take this, put it in our wound stack. Go to 3 wounds. Get another BP2 in here. All right, come on. Give me another BP1. Come on. 3, 2, 1. BP2. Dang. Had a good run. Then AI 1 comes out. Ultimate's not on top, is it? No, it's not. Okay. AI 1 comes out. AI 2 goes in. Do the same count. Yeah, okay. I haven't messed up anything. Well, I haven't messed up the escalations yet, I don't think. 3. Oh my gosh. 3, 2, 1. AI 2. To this window. Boom. Then clear out the Kratos pool. And what are we going to get? We are going to get black 3, closing 3. Black 3. Closing 3. The Dahaka blade could also make for a good setup weapon for the Truth Bearer, because getting black tokens can be super nice. Like, I think ideally it'd be awesome if I could get a bunch of hope and then like 1 or 2 black, because getting some of those power rerolls could be really critical. But I don't really think I had a setup where I could do, like, get a bunch of hope and then a handful, like 1 or 2 black. Well, actually, I mean, if we put Daedalus Flight on Truth Bearer and then Truth Bearer was our setup Titan. Okay, that is interesting. I feel like after every attack, I'm gonna be like, well, during that second attempt, I could do this instead. Okay, black 3, closing 3. What else we got? Motivate 1. Let me come back to that. And then we're acting like we're at rage 3, so we get 2 more closing and a break. 2 more closing and a break. Very interesting Kratos pool. I think that's all I'm going to get there. Yeah. We have some reposition as well. I might reposition 1 just so I'm not in the blind spot. Yeah, let's do motivate 1, reposition 1. I want to stay kind of close because I want to be able to do combo breaker. Oh, you should have been activated. And I think that's all we go. Oh, actually, we get another opening token. From Cersei Guard. Do we lose any fate here? We definitely placed at least 5 Kratos tokens, so we will lose a fate. And now we are done. Lastly, we will go with the fire starter. Put your time anchor here and go 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh wait, sorry. No, you have a ranged weapon. Let's go there. Let's see. I know. Is it a bunch of AI cards that have go to the center of the board for Nietzschean? Okay, actually, instead, maybe let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go here. Then we will attack. We'll have to commit because Firestarter cannot wield 3-handed weapons. Firestarter is also not going to lose a fate because he's going 4th instead of 2nd or 3rd. But we just need to roll a 2 or higher. 3. I'll take it. Practice rolls still maybe not paying off. We're still rolling low, but good enough. No auto tokens. We will get a power reroll here. Okay. BP2, Black Bones. It's going to be an AT of 7 because of hardened prisoners, which I don't think we care about. We will gain 2 rage, which that's fine for Firestarter. Okay. All right. We're going to get 2 black, 4 red. And okay, this is nice to have a bunch of black tokens in there now. But yeah, we need 7 power. Come on, baby. Okay, that's not bad. That's a lot of just straight power. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We get it up just off the power alone. We're at 8, so we beat it by 1. We lose a humanity, and guess in Delphi that just doesn't matter. Gain 2 rage. 4 rage. Boom. We're now at 4 wounds. Looking great. We're getting a BP3 in, which is where things, oh god, things start to get tricky. 3, 2, 1. Oh god. Okay, just put this on the bottom. BP1. AI2 comes out. AI3 goes in. Is that our ultimate? It's not. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Shoot. Shoot, shoot, shoot. I'm potentially using the Solitude Nymph early. We'll see. We'll see what the AI3 looks like. Honestly, I think I'd rather take BP1 on top, AI3 on top than the inverse. Sounds weird, but I think I just want to be getting those BP1s out as much as possible and reduce the chance that I'm drawing a BP3 too early. Maybe that's a wrong mentality. Go back to Firestarter. He's out. We are going to get Break 3. Then... oh shoot, I also forgot this is going a ways back. Truthbearer should have gotten an extra break 1 from the Argo Cryptex Gamma. Oh well, that really wouldn't have mattered. Break 3, we're at Rage 4 right now, so we will get 2 opening, 2 fire. I could do 3 opening, 1 fire. 2 opening, 2 fire. Yeah, let's swap one of those fire for an opening. And then we have some motivate we can play around with. Maybe do something like a motivate 1, 2. And I still have a motivate 1. Maybe I could reposition 2 there. Like I'm trying to think about, I feel like the most likely targeting that's going to come up now is going to be either a zone attack, which could be a big zone, or it's going to be like what, last to wound insight or closest in front. If it's a zone 3, then we could always get Game Changer out with his advanced reflex. Truthbearer may be a little screwed in that case, but maybe we'd be okay with Truthbearer taking the zone attack. And then Shadow Dancer could reflex back with advanced reflex. Reflex east, I should say. But if we had like a worst case scenario where she has to reflex east, it was a zone 3, she'd have to go here. Then what if Nietzschean had to go to the center of the board after that zone attack? Then it'd have to go here. She could go 1, 2, 3 with Chronosphere Warning System, and then 1, 2, 3 with her combo breaker. Okay, so I think that's like maybe one of the worst case positionings that could happen. Or if that doesn't happen, if the Nietzschean goes after Firestarter, then she should still be able to get in range here. Maybe the worst case would be like appear behind on the Firestarter. In which case she'd have to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That would be the case where she might not. No, actually, she could also use advanced reflex. Okay, sorry, should have paused it to do this thinking, but I'm just emphasizing that you should, like, I am trying to make sure that I can combo break this AI3, like regardless if we take the AI3 or if we use the Solitude Nymph. Like in this first round, I really, really, really want to be making sure I can combo break an AI card. So I think I'm just going to stick with what we have here. I'm not going to use that last motivate charge that I have. Although I could do motivate 1, what would be the downside of doing that? I don't think there is much downside. Let's do that. I guess maybe the downside is that if it is his own attack, maybe I want Truthbearer to get attacked and I'm taking that advantage away from him. And he's not going to be getting danger. But it's still early in the battle. I think I'm okay with that. I don't want to force him too early. Yeah, famous last words, but yeah, okay, I think I'm good with this. This will end the Firestarter's turn. We will flip these to ready them. I didn't use any Argo abilities. That is fine. Yeah, that's fine. Ooh, maybe do I want to use time skip now? Oh, actually, I forgot to do Devolver should be exhausted. If I use time skip, I was probably going to use it on Firestarter. I'm going to hold off on using time skip. The main reason being that, like, I am expecting to awaken a Titan at some point in this fight. And if I do that, I'm probably going to be awakening into Ares because he has the highest power die, and also we don't have to die from rage gain. But if I do that, it would be nice to be able to have time skip for Ares. So with me just rambling on, I think I'm ready to end that rambling and draw our first real AI card, which we're just going straight from AI 0 to AI 3. And we'll see how much I regret not using time skip. Ashbite, Titan in blind spot. Okay, good thing we moved Shadow Dancer out of there. Last to wound, insight, and range. That is going to be the Firestarter. The Nietzschean takes a step back and picks you off the ground with his left hand. For a moment, the billowing cloud of smoke and fire turns into a giant maw and takes a big bite out of you. Okay, Ashbite. This will be interesting because on 3 hits we'll just die. That may not be a bad thing though, because we could bring the Firestarter back to life if we need to with transient death. All right, let's just see how this plays out. So 1, 2, 3, I don't know why I'm counting. Oh, actually, well, Nietzschean does not have unlimited movement, so... Oh, wait a second. We're here. If I really wanted to, I could use Pursuer Ultimatum and Chronosphere Warning System to get out of range of the Nietzschean's attack. I feel like it's going to do weird things to positioning, though. Because then the Nietzschean is getting pretty far from all... Oh, yeah, actually, if I do that, I don't think I'm going to be able to get in range for Shadow Dancer to do a combo break. Okay, I was kind of just looking for an excuse to not do that, because I was like, this feels like a bad idea. And I think I found it. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, go there. And actually, maybe we want Firestarter to survive this so that he can also take Measure of Worth. And maybe he would be best suited to dying on Measure of Worth. All right, so we're gonna get 3 dice, 9 or higher to evade. That is 2 9s and a 1. All right, I think I want to just see, let's see, 1 hit would be 3 ambrosia tokens, exhaust all your gear, and then 6 danger. Yeah, let's gain fate, and let's see if we can evade, do a full evade here. 9! Triple 9s. Woo! Oh, this fight's off to a great start. Okay, full evade. After attack, knockdown, knockback 12. Knockdown doesn't matter, but knockback 12 would kill us. So let's use... Oh, I need to get some tokens on my Argo Cryptex cards, because they have, or at least the ones that have reflex on them. Yeah, having like the little tokens on here helps me remember that some of these things have abilities on them, because sometimes I forget. So we'll gain a fate, go up to 4 fate, exhaust Argo Cryptex Alpha, reflex 1. That way we don't have to worry about the knockback 12. that attack is resolved. Now we have to do the combo break. Let's gain a fate to use advanced reflex. 1, 2. And let's also gain a fate to do combo breaker. Exhausting her Hermes cape and the Exo Aegis. 1, 2. So we're combo breaking with the Exo Aegis, which is fine because we're on the shield, or we're on the sword combo, so we can combo break with the shield. We move to fire. Then Shadow Dancer gets the priority target. Slight retcon I'm going to do. Instead of reflexing from there to there, I'm going to reflex down to here because that will help me with the knockback we're probably going to take from the signature. So now we move on to the signature. This is going to target closest Titan in front and range. Only Titan in front is going to be our fire starter. So we'll move here so that way we can knock the fire starter into this side over here and hopefully not get him as far from the Nietzschean and also not get into the time front. And we have 3 dice. We'll just roll these same ones because they seem to be good. We need a 10 or higher to evade. That is no evades. That's 3 hits, so we're going to take 7 danger there. 7 danger, and we can reduce it down by a white die. We reduce it by 3, so we're only taking 4 danger. Go up to 5 danger total. And draw a major trauma. Right? Yeah, 5 danger. Oh, is Death by Fate in effect right now? It doesn't really affect us right now, but... No, okay. It says backwards momentum is in play. It does not say Death by Fate is in play, so I'm going to assume it's not. But we get a paradox. Okay, I think that is going to be interesting because that brings us to 3 paradox now. Okay, I don't know how I feel about that. This will go. Doesn't really matter how I feel about it though, does it? Because it happened. The nice thing about recording these battles is that if I have to do if I have to use the Sisyphus tier, at least I have this video to kind of go through and be like, okay, let me double check everything that changed during this. A little bit annoying because I have to scrub through the whole video, but it's nice. Then we have to deal with knockback 8. So we can reduce it, I think, just by 1. Yes, we only have that 1 source from the fire starter. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we are just below that 5 rage for performing combo. So that will come out. It'll go right there. And we are off to a phenomenal start to this fight. This is going to be a good point for me to take a break, although I'm a little worried about losing the luck that I had. I hope the luck just stays in this seat right here because I'm going to need it when I come back, but I need to go to work. So I will resume this when I get back, I'll probably just resume this tomorrow morning. Okay, I'm back. Well, I was sitting here trying to think about what I'm going to do as I start up again. I don't think I used the 2 danger, the level 2 ability of Mesalliance here, which says that when Shadow Dancer breaks a combo, she can lose a fate. So I'm going to do that. And we can actually also put an opening or a break token in the pool as well. So let's do an opening. All right. I'm not going to switch in Transient Death yet. And I don't have to prime my cannon because it's still primed from last round. But I don't know who I'm going to go with first. I would like to save Truthbearer in case a BP3 comes up. And by similar logic, I'd like to save Game Changer. So maybe the next BP2 that we get, we just attack with Game Changer and then go with Truthbearer afterwards. So I think I'm looking at either Shadow Dancer or Firestarter going now. And I think in that case, I'd prefer Firestarter to go first because he can Like Shadow Dancer is only one space away from being able to attack and then move. So maybe we go with Firestarter so that he can motivate Shadow Dancer into place. I will gain a fate. I'll be gaining a lot of fate here with Firestarter. Oh, and he's not even going to be able to lose fate because we're not taking turns second or third. Okay. I mean, I think that's fine. Gaining that fate so we can use Ontological Module to unexhaust our Devolver. Then I think I will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this really worked out for Firestarter because getting that like knockback reduction of just 1 and having the bonus to movement here is what kept him in the, giving him the ability to actually make an attack here. But I need to reestablish your time anchor. You were what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Getting into a dangerous territory here though with going up to 5 rage. We're gonna have two Titans that are at 5 rage going into the next, well, I should say at least 2 Titans with 5 rage going into the next Primordial round. So we have to really be careful about that perform combo off the signature. But I'm gonna be aggressive. So let's gain a rage, gain a fate, because we have to commit. And we will have +6 to hit here. So we need a 3 or higher. That's a 2. That's a little cocked, but it's not really that cocked. So shoot, no closing tokens. I'm gonna have to gain a fate. I guess on the bright side now we have the second chance available from Eye of the Watcher. Though it does take a danger to use it. Okay, come on. Crit, baby! Okay, I thought it was gonna be a crit miss for a second, so I'm okay with these outcomes. Draw our BP1. We have the Mask of Smoke. How is that? Do I need to adjust my focus on that camera? Maybe that's better. I'm not sure. So we're gonna have to do, it's not hardened, so we just need to beat an AT of 6. And this is gonna be the Nietzschean would move 4 spaces away. It's a little annoying. Not too bad. I guess right now it's better for him to move north-south than it is to move east-west. So for this roll, we will get 2 black and 4 red. Yeah, it's like, I'm knock on wood, famous last words, but it's like these, all the BPs except for the BP3 should be relatively easy to wound. It's just as BP3s that are really gonna hurt us. Or really scare me at least. Boom. Okay, that's a pretty good power roll. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 at least. So that will wound. We have to do, Nietzschean moves 4 spaces away. Being careful not to break his ankles off again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh wait, I have to do, oh, you were here. You're gonna destroy that. Destroy that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that right? Yeah, I don't know. That just seemed like further than it actually was. Also, if you haven't watched like my playthroughs, go back and watch the Cycle 2 finale video. There's a bookmark or whatever YouTube calls it. I think it's a chapter mark. Where I literally, in the middle of the fight, as I'm like putting the all for one trait out and I'm like putting a little marker on the base of the Nietzschean mini, I snap the miniature in half and it breaks off at the ankles, and it's just like a very shocking but fitting moment. And so yeah, the Nietzschean had to get subbed out for the Cyclonus for the rest of that fight. Dang, this does interfere with my plans a little bit for motivating a Shadow Dancer, but we will adapt and figure something out. So this gets wounded. Okay, now we're up to 5 wounds. It's a BP1, so we'll get another BP2 in here, and we only have 1 more BP1 in our pile. 3, 2, 1. Shoot, 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 shoot. BP3. AI1 comes out. AI2 goes in. Shoot. 3, 2, 1. AI2. Take all these red dice out. Take all these black dice out. Take all these Kratos tokens out. And we are going to be left with break 3. What else here? 5 rage, so we can get 2 opening 3 fire or 3 opening 2 fire. Let's do 3 opening and 2 fire. I probably want to motivate Truth Bearer because I could motivate Game Changer to be adjacent to the Nietzschean, but that's going to potentially trigger Danger Sense. Ooh, I do need to keep Danger Sense in mind as a way that if I need to get Truth Bearer some danger, like in case of emergency, I can do that. But Truth Bearer could probably use the extra movement. Shadow Dancer, unfortunately, needs 4 movement for that motivate to really be super helpful for her. Oh, was there a window of opportunity on this? No, there's not. Okay, so let's do motivate 3 on Truth Bearer because I think that's just enough for him to be able to get into range to attack. Then we need to exhaust the Devolver, and that will end the Firestarter's turn. And I think next I probably need to go with Shadow Dancer so she can use the Primordial Lure. So assuming that the AT that we have to wound here is going to be a 16, then Truth Bearer would have like a 15% chance to wound right now. That includes like the percent chance to actually hit. What if we do an automatic hit here? It only goes up by 1%. Okay. And that's the best of the group here. We have Game Changer and Shadow Dancer each have like a 1% chance to wound. If we go up to an AT value of 18, then Truth Bearer has a 1% chance to wound, and Shadow Dancer and Game Changer have no chance. I don't remember if there's any. I think the AT 18s, the Aeon Trespass value 18 BP3s, only go to 18 if you don't use an armor piercing weapon. Like, I don't think there's any. I could be wrong, actually. I don't remember any inherently 18 BP3s. Anyway, I mean, this is why we brought the Primordial Lure. Let's go ahead and use it. So we're going to go with Shadow Dancer and reestablish her time anchor. Then we will have to gain 3 fate to use this. So we're going up to 4 fate. And then we're going to take the top BP card, put it on the bottom. Okay, it's a BP2 on top. Hoping for that last BP1, but that was low odds. It's kind of tempting to try to use Shalusum to attack here just because it has Spiral on it. But that seems like it'd be a mistake to do it. I will use Reflex Priming to get back the Hermes Cape and the Sun Guard. Then we'll move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to go here just to spread out the Titans a little bit. So technically, this should be back on this side. Then we will gain a Rage and gain a Fate to attack. Ooh, I don't like being at 5 Fate. We will drop down 1 Fate from placing a Kratos token. Do I want to use Fate Safe before I attack? Yeah, I'll do it because I feel like I'm getting to a point where if I get attacked, I'm probably going to be drawing a noble, at least with her, because I don't have anything to reduce. Like, I don't have armor dice. I don't know. I'm all right. Let's just do it. Let's commit to it. Ooh, I could also say that instead of unexhausting Sun Guard, I unexhaust Fate Safe. Yeah, let's do that because I do have another source of reflex. I have the Argo Cryptex beta. Oh wait, this comes off. Okay, so now we have what? +1, +2, plus another 3, we have +5. So we have 4. We need a 4 or higher. Boom! It's a 7 and a crit miss. All right, so we have our lovely Dehaka Blade striking again. I'm gonna have to use a Pygmalion Stone to save Shadow Dancer. Meanwhile, I will need to gain a Fate here to reroll the hit. We'll reroll this one. Ah, damn, it's a 3. Did I miss any precision here? I did not. Shoot. Shoot, shoot, shoot. Well, we're in the first ability window. We should go into the blind spot. So we'll flip that. We'll pole position to get into the blind spot. Oh, and I totally forgot the Dehaka Blade had the rage effect on it of rage of 7 or more, gain 3 rage. Oh, shit. I forgot about that. All right, well, note to self, Force Kratos reaction is probably saved for Shadow Dancer. And I could use Heartseeker here, but I am not going to because that is very likely to cost me a lot of fate. And I'm not interested in that. So I'm just going to get what, 2 black and a red. Oof. Not great. And we will draw our BP2. Blazing Muscles, AT of 5. I swear, I know, I'm pretty sure I've said it before on camera. To me, this just looks like little elf feet that are coming out. This doesn't look like arms. It looks like little elf feet that are just sticking out and got little pointy toes. We have an AT value of 5. It's hardened. So we need to get 7. We have 1 extra power, so we need 6. I could use the Armor Piercer round. Oh, if I fail, I burn. I would lose my combo breaker. But I mean, it said, at least according to my math, I have about an 81% chance to wound, even if I don't use the Armor Piercer. I'm going to save the Armor Piercer. I hope I don't regret this, but I'm planning for the long term here. Shoot. All right. Come on, Moirai. Come on, Dice Gods. Please be with me. Okay, that's 4. Oh no, I'm terrified right now. My heart is racing. I have 1 power reroll. Yes! Oh my god. Honestly, terrified. So that's 2, 4, 5, 6. We have 1 power on the Dehaka Blade, so we're up to 7. That's just barely enough. So we wound, we're going to gain a danger and then place 2 additional fire tokens. 1 danger, 2 fire. We're also going to get an opening from Circe Guard's boon, so I'm just going to note that. So jot that down. Then be able to put this, oh geez, put this in our wound stack. Halfway there at 6 wounds, though we are getting another BP3 in here. 3, 2, 1. BP2. Okay. I was just about to skip. I'm just like only focused on the BP cards right now. AI2 goes away. Oh boy. All right, we're getting another AI3. Okay, and the next card is not the ultimate. So that's good. 3, 2, 1. AI2. Come out. That comes out. We'll get to leave 1 fire. And we get black 3, closing 3. Black 3, closing 3. Then 2 more closing. The Dehaka Blade just doesn't fit well in Shadow Dancer in terms of like synergy with tokens, because like that's an absurd amount of closing, an unnecessary amount. Oh, and then I get my 2 fire and an opening. We have motivate 1 and reposition 2. Motivate 1, I guess I'll just put on Truth Bearer. Give you a little bit more leeway. And actually we have, no, yeah, we just had reposition 2. So let's do 1, 2. And we left at least 5 tokens in the pool, so we'll lose a fate. And put all these tokens away. And that'll end Shadow Dancer's turn. Now I'll go with Game Changer. Activate. Then let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Get into the blind spot. Not that we really need the precision bonus, but I don't want to be going into the danger sense or danger zone. And I think like my ideal scenario for the way the Primordial round would work out would be Firestarter getting attacked by the AI card, dying from that, then Truth Bearer gets attacked by the signature. Ooh, shoot, but if that happens, Shadow Dancer is going to be a ways away from the Nietzschean. Oh, but Firestarter can use Superior Reflex and get closer for his death. Okay, that's fine. Okay, I think I'm ready to attack now. Gain a rage, commit. And we only need a 2 or higher to hit here. I'm terrified of trying to use Rouse on this. Assume I even hit on the first one. Let's see. Okay, a 2. Okay. Oh, it would be dumb to re-roll that. I just don't try to push it for the crit. Don't try to push it for losing 1 fate. It is not worth it. Got to talk myself off a ledge here. So we're going to get 3 black, a red, and a white. Okay, come on. No auto tokens. Go draw our BP card here. Is there anything else for the first ability window? No, I think we're good. Faces of Defeat. AT value of 8. Gain 2 danger, and Nietzschean moves spy, space. Oh no! Shoot. May not be a big deal, but I don't like the Nietzschean getting so far away from the Shadow Dancer. Shoot. We need 8 on the dice. We have 3 black. Come on. All right, that's pretty good. What, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 8 just in the power symbols alone. 9, 10. We're good. I actually don't want to even re-roll anything because... no, actually, I will. I'll use a black on this. See if I can maximize the number of tokens I'm carrying over. Oh, nope. Okay. It's going to be like that. So get to carry over 1 fire. Gain 2 danger, and somehow we're already at 6 danger with Game Changer. I would rather that danger gain be going to Truth Bearer, but whatever. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think technically Shadow Dancer, well, not actually. If the Nietzschean moves even 1 more space forward, then the Shadow Dancer can't wouldn't be able to get in range to combo break. Okay, but we do wound this. Go up to 7 wounds. We get another lovely BP3 in here. And I'm going to pull the BP1. Watch me. 3, 2, 1. that's not the BP one. Nope, that's not it. That is not it. Then still not seeing the ultimate. Okay, so that's a good sign. 3, 2, 1. Ooh, okay, this is a choice. I may not want to attack with Truthbearer this round. I will have to think about that. I mean, I don't think there's much to think about. There's a lot of AI 3s in that deck right now. And if I wait, then I can always use Primordial Lore again next round with Shadow Dancer. All right. So we can keep 1 fire in here. We will get hope for 1, 2. Oh, come on. 3, 4. Elation 1 will give us an opening. Then I'll do 2 opening and a break. And then we do get a rouse as well. Still no window of opportunity. No. Darn. Okay. We'll gain 2 fate so that we can ignore the exhaust for Daedalus Flight. And then we'll clear out the Kratos pool. Or the remnants of the last Kratos pool, I should say. Be gone, Kratos token. No, actually, don't be gone. I love you, Kratos tokens. I would keep you if I could. And then we placed at least 5 tokens, so we're going to get to go down a fate, back to 4 fate. The other things don't matter. And that will end Game Changer's turn. So now we come to Truthbearer's turn. You reestablish. Where is your time anchor? Oh, there it is. Reestablish your time anchor. What is your deal? Oh yeah, crit chance. Okay, so I'm going to gain. I'm going to gain a fate and exhaust that hero by mistake, so I can get the priority target token off of Shadow Dancer. And even if I thought I was going to wound here, I probably don't want to go, because wounding a BP3 is going to mean that our last BP1 comes out. I don't know where that BP1 is, but if we have the opportunity to not have to go after a BP3, or I'm sorry, if we have the opportunity to still try to wound that BP1 and at least get 11 of the wounds without, I mean, getting 11 wounds without hitting a BP3 is tough, just off of the luck of the draw. But yeah, even if you told me if I was guaranteed to wound this BP3, I'd do it. Let's be honest. But I don't think it's worth it right now, because if I don't attack, then I also don't have to get the rage with Truthbearer, and I would like Truthbearer to be the one that takes a signature, and if I'm hoping for that, I don't want him to be at 5 rage to have to worry about the combo. I'll use my attack action to get back here by mistake, and I don't think there's anything else that I'm going to do. I don't even know if I want to move. No, actually I will move, because I don't want him getting hit by a zone AI if I want him to take the signature. So maybe we'll go like 1, 2, 3, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go there maybe. He's still within a zone 3. I don't think there's any AI 1 zone 3s though. I think they're just like more concentrated zones. Yeah, I guess I'll end my turn. I always just like have to. It is definitely a good, like there is definitely a lot of times where it's good to just choose not to attack, but it's like, it's something I don't like to do is skip an attack. So like every time I'm doing it, I like have to, my body's like, are you sure you want to do that? Like I'm like, just come on, like just let me attack. Come on, let me get one in there. But yeah, I mean, the only thing that I'm missing from this round right now is like I would really like Shadow Dancer to be closer. I can get Shadow Dancer in range still to do the combo breaker through a combination of Chronosphere warning system and the Hermes blah blah blah, Hermes cape, and her reflex from Argo Cryptex Beta. That's the maximum I can get. It would be 7 movement. She's 7 spaces away. I've counted that like 3 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes. But that would also require us to use Pursuer Ultimatum on the fire starter. But I think that's what we're going to have to do if we want to break the combo. And I feel like gaining that fate is going to be worth it to break the combo. But who knows what the hell can happen on this AI card anyway. Let me do a double check on the wounds. 7 makes sense to me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, okay. That does make sense to me. And honestly, like I do kind of really want the fire starter to die, because a Titan dying is going to unlock our nymphs, and we kind of need that sooner than later. Anyway, let's get into the next Primordial round. Ooh, I could use a charge of Force Kratos cooldown to lower Firestarter's rage by 1 in case he doesn't die and he has to take the signature. But I don't know. I almost don't want to waste a charge of that. I feel like I'm saving that for Shadow Dancer. All right, I'm sorry. I'm talking a lot. I'm rambling, but I'm just a lot of thought process going on right now, and I don't know if it's valuable for you to hear it. I don't know if you care about it, but sometimes I'm just not sure like which of these things you want me to pause on and think through off camera versus doing it on camera. So I choose randomly. I figure for the bigger battles, you kind of want to hear some of the thought process a little bit more. But yeah, I think there's no end of Titan round effects. There's no start of Primordial round effects. So let's just go to the AI card. World of Hurt. Ooh, turn to face the most Titans and attack. Okay. I need to think about how I want to handle this. I think I'm now locked out of... I don't think I can combo break. I think it's going to be impossible for me to do it because... well, not impossible, but extremely unlikely, because the attack is going to cause burn if it hits. And chances are it's going to hit at least 1 on Shadow Dancer, and if it does, that's going to be burn, and we're going to lose the thing that we can combo break with. Although it's not impossible, because we'll have +1 to evasion, so we need 8 or higher. We have 3 rerolls from Shalusalem, and we can block a hit. Okay. Yeah, let's see what we can... Is that font smaller than the rest of it? It is. What the heck? That's very odd. How's my focus doing? Do I need to adjust it? No, it's good now. Okay. All right. Let's do this view for right now, because I'm going to spend a fate and use Game Changer's built-in advanced reflex. So let's go 1, 2. Then, oh man. Even if I do get a full evade with Shadow Dancer, we're still going to have exhaust your armor. Yeah, I think it's impossible for me to combo break. And we have an AI3 coming up. Well, I mean, this is kind of my fault for not having multiple Titans that can combo break. All right, no problem. We're gonna adapt. We're gonna deal with it. The Nichin is gonna turn to face north, but I just need to figure out how I want to, where do I want to put Shadow Dancer to avoid this. She's probably going to need to use Primordial Lore, so I probably want to avoid giving her more fate if she can avoid it. So let's use a charge of Chronosphere Warning System. And let's go, I guess, 1, 2. I would love to get here, but again, I don't think it's worth the extra fate to do that. All right, and then, so turn to face the most Titans. We did that. And attack. We did that. It's attacking the zone. Nothing's going to happen. We get rid of this AI card. And we will draw the AI 3 because he's going to combo. It's going to be unbroken. So the combo tracker will now be on Ambrosia. Needs a club, axe, or bow. We have to do another AI 3, and I think the requirement for the Amalthean Nymph is at least one Titan has died. One Titan has died or drawn a noble, which has not happened yet. You know, I feel like you can't do this. But technically, Cyclopean Hand Mirror says, start of battle, draw an obol without resolving its effect. These nymphs say at least one Titan has died or drawn an obol, not resolved an obol. But I think this kind of goes along the same lines of like, if a Titan is in the middle of an obol draw, I don't know. I feel like that would be not rules as intended to be like, well, technically I did draw an obol. That feels like cheating. Let's just take our AI 3, get it over with. Skullpire. The Nietzschean moves forward, sweeps you off. Oh, he's going to sweep me off my feet. That's so nice. Sweeps you off the ground with his right hand and thrusts you into the blazing fire engulfing his body. Target is Titan in blind spot. There is none, although I wish it was... dang, I wish I had a window of opportunity before the targeting line here, because then I could get Firestarter in there. Last to wound, though, would be Game Changer, right? Dang, some of these things are not working out in my favor, because now this is going to mean that Game Changer is going to take this attack, and then I don't think I'm going to be able to get Truthbearer to be the one that takes the signature. Oh, and Game Changer is probably going to die from this. This is a doomed judgment for will and endurance, or will or endurance. He sucks at both of those. I have Siren Mask, but I'm one danger and 2 fate shy of being able to use its ability to prevent my instant death. Yeah, sorry. I say sorry. For me, I've been sitting here for like 5 or so minutes just trying to think about like if there's any way to get around this, but this is not going to be ideal. I think we're going to end up losing Game Changer now. Obviously, we can get him back with Transient Death, but not working out how I wanted it to. But at least we're looking at almost a surefire where they're going to start unlocking we unlock the ability to use our nymphs. So this could be good. Here is the plan that I think is leading for what I'm going to do right now. Nietzschean goes up, attacks Game Changer. Game Changer dies. We use Nietzschean Nymph to awaken the Truthbearer. Truthbearer gets a bonus attack, uses that, and also gets movement from doing the awakening. So moves in front of the Nietzschean, does the bonus attack, probably fails on the BP3. That's fine. Also, we're awakening into Ares because we want to set up Truthbearer for late in the next round to be able to get a BP3. But assume we fail to wound the BP3. That's okay. The worst thing that could happen is if it's a fail response that gives us Ambrosia tokens. I think anything else is tolerable. Like gaining Rage, no problem. Gaining Danger, no problem. Because we do have protocol or prototype trespass device. Assuming we don't have a BP3 that gives us Ambrosia, and that's a big assuming, because if that does happen, that's kind of game over. Or almost, because then if we get too much Ambrosia, Truthbearer dies, and prototype trespass device is going to do nothing to bring him back. because as soon as he comes back to life, he would just die again. But okay, assuming we do that, even if it's like a fail response of 2 signature, well, guess what? It's a bonus attack. We don't have to worry about that fail response. Even if it's like draw a noble, because I think there are some fail responses in there that are draw a noble. That's okay too. We have prototype trespass device. Oh, but if we have to do if it is a noble and we have to do that, then if it's something like if it's a response that kills him, he's going to come back to his time anchor here, and then he's not going to get the signature done on him. But we need to get this BP3 off the top of the deck. Anyway, so let's assume we try to wound it, we fail, goes in the discard pile. Now the Truth Bearer is in front of the Nietzschean. We take the signature and get danger. Presumably it also would kill us, and we're gonna have to use the prototype trespass device to come back to life. But I think that's how we maximize, like that's how we get the Truth Bearer up to his peak potential to be able to prepare for a BP3. Okay, all right, well, I'm jumping really far ahead because I don't even know that that Game Changer is gonna die. Now that I've done all that planning, Game Changer is probably not gonna die. But okay, we're gonna do move and judge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gonna be 2 dice. We need a 10 or higher because I don't think we have any bonuses to will or endurance. That is correct. Oh, actually, we have Siren Mask though, so +1 to judgment test. So we need 9 or higher. 8 and a 2. That is death. We cannot re-roll because it's doomed, or we cannot re-roll with what's it called? Fate, because it's doomed. Game Changer dies, and we now get a lot more flexibility in how we do this fight. You will come off the board. Then, because the Titan just died, I'm going to use the Nietzschean Nymph. Let's put that. We're going to need plenty of space for where I'm going to be putting all the nymphs I'm going to be activating here. So let's actually just do this maybe. Sure. We're going to use the Nietzschean Nymph, and we're going to awaken the Truth Bearer into Ares. Need a counter to show my adversary activations. Put those off to the side. And then let's go and use Argo. Need to go to God Forms and Summons. We're going to be using Ares, and we are going to be using... I don't think I have to use my bonus summon charges first. So we're going to use just a regular summon charge, and we have to mark the Nietzschean Nymph as used. Grab Ares. Ares will go under Truth Bearer here. I want to make sure I don't... I want to keep my little yellow sheet on top. Then with the Nietzschean Nymph, we basically only get 1 Trespass token. And we can do our movement. Go 1, 2, 3, 4. Go there. Oh, sorry, I'm not even showing that screen. We'll move the Truth Bearer here. And then we'll get to do a bonus attack. This can go into our AI discard. And we get 2 dice here because we have the Atlantean Oscillator. And we have +5, so we need a 4 or higher to hit. It's a 7 and a 4. I can actually spiral the crit die. I'm at risk of just giving myself more adversary activations here, but yeah, okay. That's a 4, so we do hit. We will get just auto hope 1, I think, right? Oh, I didn't gain a rage. I should be at 5 rage right now. Which means I can pretend to be at 6 rage. No precise or anything. What is on the other side of the Devolver, honestly? I kind of forget. The Descender. Clutch Deadly, Pushback 2. Okay, yeah, I mean, it's nowhere near as good as the Devolver, but... because it does have, it's nice if you are trying to avoid getting cumbersome on it. On the Devolver, that is. Okay, so we need to draw BP3. All right, and we are really hoping that there is not a BP. Damn it. There is a BP3 underneath of it. And this is AT17. Okay. Shoot. We fail. We get 5 danger. Okay. That's not bad. We'll definitely have to use the prototype trespass device after we get attacked by the signature, but okay. And let's see, I wonder what the percent chance is that we're going to wound. All right, it looks like I have like a 13% chance of wounding if I use Death Follows, and a 4% chance if I don't. I don't think it's going to be worth it to use Death Follows on this. I don't want to waste it. We're going to get 2 black, 3 red, and a white. We have 2 power reroll. Boom! That's a pretty bad roll. Yeah, we're nowhere close. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11-ish. I don't know. For shits and giggles, let's just reroll these 2. Yeah, I'm sure that's not enough. That'll fail. We'll get 5 danger. Go up to 8 danger total. That will go into the BP discard pile. These will come out, that'll come out. And what are we left just here? Gonna get break 3. Break 3. Oh, break 4, because I forgot about Argo Cryptex Gamma last time. Then we have Elation 2, so we'll get rid of 2 of our Ambrosia tokens. Get 2 opening. And then I think we'll get, what, 2 break, 2 hope, 2 opening? Maybe I'll replace one of the hopes with a black. Let's do, what, 2 break, 1... 2, 1 hope, 1 black, 2 opening. And rouse 1. And burden, but Shadow Dancer doesn't have any tokens to take. We will clear those, clear that, and then get 1 more opening from Aster's Boon. Actually, I'm not gonna do this black here. I'm gonna do another hope. Ooh, actually, I could do reposition with the Devolver and not be the Titan in front. If I had to take 3 hits with the Shadow Dancer off of the signature, that would be 7 danger, which that would be enough to cause her to draw an Obol. She could block 1. She could only go down to 5 danger. That's probably a better idea. Yeah, because I think there's low... If I was going to be in a situation where I was very likely to draw an Obol with Shadow Dancer, I'd probably hold off on it, but this seems okay. Think about this further. Okay, so gonna end up having to draw a Grave Trauma. We do have second chance, so we can use that. Oh, actually, it would honestly be better if I had to draw an Obol with her. So maybe I wouldn't want to block, because then I could use... oh, this is sitting on the wrong thing. We know that the next Obol that she draws is going to be a You Live. Okay, but I think either way, I think I would prefer for her to get attacked, because Truthbearer already has the danger that he needs. And, if you are the priority target, gain rouse 1. Yeah, sure, let's do that. During that last attack from Truthbearer, let's gain a fate so we can do the second ability on this. If you're the priority target, gain rouse 1 so we can put an extra rouse token in the Kratos pool here. That'll be nice for whoever's next. Because if we do end up attacking next with Shadow Dancer, then that would mean that, okay, now we're at a point where everybody should be getting their extra red power die from their Kratos table. Okay, that's cool. So reposition 2, I mean, I don't know why I was like acting like I'm rewinding, so I'm still going back and doing reposition from this. Let's go, actually let's go there. Because we don't have to worry about the danger zone right now. Because it's the Primordial round. Oh, and another reason it's good for Shadow Dancer if you want to take this attack. Truth Bearer is at 5 rage. If Truth Bearer took it, we're doing another combo. Screw that. 100% Shadow Dancer. Okay. Woohoo. Nice. You'll do the signature. Measure of worth. Target is closest Titan in front in range. Only Titan in fright is... In fright. In front is... the Dancer of the Shadows. Go 1, 2, 3, 4. I guess technically we should be facing that way. I feel like my Nietzschean is just kind of a little janky after having to re-glue them back on. Get 3 dice, and we have +1 to evasion, so we only need 9 or higher to evade, and obviously we're going to be using the Shalusalem for this. Well, that's 3 hits. Can re-roll all of them for free. That's still 3 hits. Now, I'm debating if it's better to... block and draw a grave trauma, because, yeah, if we block 1, we're going to take 5 danger, go up to 8 danger. That would be a grave trauma draw. Otherwise, and the risk with that is that we could draw something super crappy. We could draw disemboweled. But we do have second chance. I just am thinking, do I want to save that charge of the Cyclopean Hand Mirror just in case? Because it is very nice to be like, I know that if I draw a noble, I'm going to survive. Although I am like trying to end it this Titan round. I think I'm going to opt for the grave trauma, just because I don't. Saying it, I'm like, I don't know if I want to do this, but I feel like I'm wasting the Cyclopean Hand Mirror if I do it now, because if she takes another attack, she's guaranteed to be drawing a noble, and at that point, it's probably going to be enough danger to put the You Died Horribly in there, which means there's going to be 3 You Died cards in there. I'm gonna, all right, stop debating, just do something. Gaining a fate. This is giving me a fate too. This feels like the wrong choice. But the other one feels like the wrong choice too. My internal turmoil is real. Okay, nope. Sticking with this. We're blocking it. So we're taking 2 hits. That's gonna put us at, we're gonna gain 5 danger. We go up to 8 danger. Nothing to reduce that, right? No. All right, grave trauma it is. Let's think about what are the best case and worst case scenarios here, because that will help me think about if I want to use a second chance or not. Worst case scenario, disemboweled, obviously use a second chance. Trying to think of like, if I had to gain, I think gaining 3 fate would be the worst, because I don't, that would suck. I don't know if I would use second chance on that or not, because if I second chance it and then draw disemboweled, that'd be so shitty. But gaining 3 fate, that would be pretty terrible for her. But maybe it's a bonus attack. Oh, what about the bonus attack that could kill you? Ooh, yeah, because if you draw that, oh, I'm starting to second guess this. Okay, this is a bad idea. Just flip it. Yes! Let's fucking go! You gain an Argo Fate to awaken, then adversary activation. I don't want to get that adversary. I'm kidding. Of fucking course I'm going to do that. Yes! Yes, 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 yes! Woo! Let's go! Okay, I'm not out of the woods yet. This is nice, but also I still need there's still a lot of things that have to go right for this fight for me to win this fight. All right. So yes, we're absolutely going to gain the Argo Fate here. Subscribe, Argo Fate. I'm gonna have to leave soon. I don't know if I can finish this fight. Maybe once I get to the Titan round, it'll be another good stopping point for me. Argo Fate to awaken. Let me increase my counter for my adversary activations because, oh baby, we are probably doing a Dahaka fight right after this. So this is going to cause a bonus attack, which is going to chain break. Oh, sorry, I thought I had this one. This is going to chain break the signature. Now, who do we want to awaken Shadow Dancer into? Ares would have been a good choice for her, obviously, because of the risk of her dying from rage gain. Athena would be a really nice choice because of her ability to lose 2 fate at the start of her turn, and the ability to see the top BP card, but I can't use her because we already used her. Or no, that fight wasn't on video. That was the last Sun Descendant fight, but yeah, I had to awaken into her. So she's not available. Zeus maybe makes sense. I mean, who am I kidding? Zeus always makes sense. Hermes could be interesting for the unexhausting gear. Okay, no, I think Zeus is going to give me the most likely chance to win just because he's so powerful. I was just debating if I wanted to save him for another fight this this cycle or this story card, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to use it. Let's go to God Forms and Summons. God Forms. Zeus. Oh, how I love you. Just automatic awakening card. That is amazing. Just slightly better than disemboweled. And we can do pushback. Is Nietzschean. The Nietzschean is lumbering. I guess I'll just stay here. I don't think I need to go behind. Actually, wait. I have 5 opening tokens, but all my weapons have at least +1 precision. I have +1 precision from Argo Cryptex Beta. Okay, yeah, I don't care about. I'll just stay where I am and attack. And I think I'm going to attack with the Shalusalem, because then I can unexhaust it and I can use Spiral. I'm not trying to wound this BP3. I think I want to just reduce my fate. That would be ideal. And I have the potential to reduce my fate by a lot right now. Yes. That's a great idea. Because then if I do that, that will set me up for the bonus, okay, I'm getting ahead of myself, but that'll set me up well to be able to use Heartseeker and Precise. Also, first I need to flip this over. That'll set me up well to be able to use Heartseeker and or Precise on Dahaka Blade to be able to try to get through some of the rest of the non-BP3s here. Okay, I like this. I like this a lot. So we're going to gain a Rage. This is a bonus attack, so we get to unexhaust our weapon. We're going to get 3 dice. We only need a 2 or higher on this to hit. Anything else I need to think about here? No. Oh, I need my Trespass tokens. Ooh, 2 misses? Oh man, that's terrible. I mean, it's not worst case scenario, but well, I'm gonna die again. Shoot, I can't risk spiraling that one. I cannot risk a full miss. Oh wait, well, I guess this crit miss effect actually doesn't matter because it's not my active weapon. Okay, so those will come out. That'll come out. I don't get any auto tokens. Not that I see. And we are just going to get 2 black and a red for this. Oh, gee whiz. I wonder if I can wound this skull head. 17. Okay, so we've gotten 2 of our BP3s that don't have what's it called on them? Hardened. So I think that's good to get those ones out of the way when I'm not ready to wound them yet. Also, we have a BP2 on top now. Hell yeah. Okay. Fail effect, draw an obel. I'm prepared for that. You bitch. I'm ready for you. Watch me fail. Not a bad roll for a failure. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Why am I counting? I don't know. That is going to be an obel draw. So we will use Cyclopean Hand Mirror, so we know that we're going to survive that first obel. So we have to find it. Aha, it was on the bottom. So we survive. We don't have to discard Cyclopean Hand Mirror, but we will get to shuffle these. Do I get anything for surviving? I could gain a rage. I don't want to. 3, 2, 1. Okay. Let's do roll 7. So just 1. Okay. This will go into the discard. Okay, that we have 2 BP3s in the discard without like things going paralyzingly wrong. I think that's a win. Hope 1, opening 2. Hope 1, opening 2. We'll get an opening 3 from Cersei Guard's Boon. What else? We're basically at 6 rage. I think at this point I'll pull position. Go here. Then we'll get 3 closing tokens. 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3 break. And I think that's all. These come out. That comes out. I don't care about reposition, but I will motivate you 1. Then we lose a fate because we put at least 5 tokens in the Kratos pool. And I was really hoping to be able to lose like 3 more fate. Because I was hoping that all 3 of those were going to hit, and then I'd just be re-rolling all of them. But having a BP2 on top helps that a little bit. Anything else before I end that bonus attack? I don't think so. I think this is going to end up being another good pausing point for me. Because we're in the Titan round now. Ooh, at the start of the Titan round, do I want to swap in Transient Death? Probably. But what do I take out? I kind of need Reflex Priming if I want Firestarter to be able to attack. I could take out Kronos for a warning system. But I always hate discarding those AAs because they're so useful if they still have a charge left. Force Kratos cooldown. It's sitting there. I just feel like I'm going to need it at some point. Maybe it's just wasting space. All right, I'm going to put this in front of me because I'm going to save this decision for when I come back. And then we'll like officially start the Titan round. So I will be back in, well, in real time, I don't know when I'll be back, but for you, like 2 seconds. I was thinking about this last night, and I think what's going to make the most sense for me here is to get rid of Reflex Priming and replace that with Transient Death. Because with Firestarter was the main Titan that we were going to use this with, but they have the Argo Cryptex Alpha, so they have semi-sync. So at the start of their turn, they could use movement to get everything back, use semi-sync to get another movement, use that to move closer to the Nietzschean, attack, we're good. The part that I'm still deciding on, though, is who I want to attack with first. Because I could go with Firestarter, knowing that this card is a BP2, and just hopefully get another quick wound out of the way. Then that potentially puts another BP3 on top. We have Shadow Dancer, who could get more. Shadow Dancer would get more value out of trying to get more the BP3s off the top because they would have Heartseeker if they can get into the blind spot with the Hackleblade. But if we don't attack with the BP2, we're losing an opportunity, or I should say if we end up having to attack a BP3 even after Heartseeker, then we're losing an opportunity to do bonus attack from Zeus. I kept wanting to say Herakleides for some reason. It's not Herakleides, it's Zeus. Also with Shadow Dancer, I was originally thinking that I could attack this BP2 with her, use Shalusalem, which gives me access to Spiral 3. The problem is if I could do that and pretty reliably get down a lot on Fate, maybe get close to, I could even get to 0 Fate potentially at the end of that attack. However, I'm risking not wounding, and I'm most likely still going to wound, but I'm also risking not being able to do a bonus attack off of BP2. So I don't know if losing that Fate is worth that trade-off. It's just that Heartseeker at a maximum could end up costing 7 Fate, because it costs 1 Fate for Heartseeker itself, and then 3 Fate for each of the BP3s if both of them have that eye symbol on it. Take a look at the BPs that we've wounded so far. 8 for BP2, a 5, effectively a 7 for the BP2. 5, that's effectively a 7 for a BP2. Yeah, so I think the BP2s that are remaining are probably on the higher end of the AT scale. Oh, okay. So I've only wounded 3 BP2s, which means we only have 1 BP3 in the deck right now. That makes me lean towards wanting to go with Firestarter. Also, let me take a look at the BP3s that we have in our discard pile here. One of them has the eye, one of them does not. Okay. I just do not remember. I'm assuming that the eye, the quantumized symbol, is about a 50-50 split between the BPs. Let's see, on our 3 BP2s that we have in our pile, only one of them has the eye symbol. On the BP1s, we have 1, 2 with the eye symbol. So maybe it's close to like a 50-50 split at the BP level. I don't know. I don't know if it varies on BP level or if it's consistent and there's like maybe 2 or 3 per level. I never really paid attention to that as much as I should have. All right, I think I am leaning towards going with Firestarter first. I can't think of enough reasons not to do it. So we're just going to commit to doing this. Your time anchor. Then we will use movement to unexhaust gear. Then gain a Fate to do semi-sync off the Argo Cryptex Alpha. So we're going to get an extra movement. I'm going to get a movement fatigue token ready. Then we can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It could just go there. It could go here. Let's just go here. Oh, actually, before I do anything here, I need to think about what Fate he might have to gain. Because you can only gain 1 more Fate, and we're going to have to use one. We're going to have to use a Fate to commit with Devolver. If I went if I went first, sorry. If I went second or third, I could lose a Fate. I won't need a Fate for re-rolling though, because I do have closing tokens in there. I think I'm okay. Famous last words. Like, the downside is I won't be able to use any kind of reflex, but that's probably okay. I won't be able to use the ability to reduce Ambrosia gain, but after this attack, I don't really care. So yeah, all right. I will attack. Yeah, I mean this is going to prevent me from attacking with him in the future because, well, not necessarily, but hopefully there's not really. I'm hoping there's not going to be a future Titan round. Attack, gaining a rage and a Fate, and we're up to 9 Fate. We have +8, so we only need a 2 or higher here. That's a 5. I would really like some of these crit sides. I'm going to get some practice rolls in this morning. Still keeping that 5, obviously, but I haven't rolled a, oh, there's a crit. I've been doing, like, I go in hot and cold streaks of rolling crits, I feel like. Because what, in the last recorded battle I did, I had so many BP3s, and I didn't crit on a single one of them. Like, I hit 4 BP3s and I didn't crit on any of them. That's not that crazy, but like, I feel like for my luck, I'm usually pretty lucky. There's one. Wow. All right. I think we've gotten some of the bad rolls out. Let's just get them on their crit sides up, and that'll prime them. So I hope you enjoyed that, however long that was. Me just rolling the dice a lot. But we got a 5. We got 1 hit. So we're gonna get 2 black, 2 red. We're in the, like, towards the end of this fight here, we're going to start putting all these on their maximum side just to encourage them to go to that side, because I am paranoid. So we're going to have 2 black, 4 red, right? 2 black, 2 red, 3 red, 4 red. No auto tokens, nobody to inspire, just a BP card to draw. Yeah, nothing else I missed. Inscribed ribcage, how's that? Focus level looking. It's pretty good. I'm gonna go off on a little tangent here because I was just playing around with these settings as I was doing this. But like, I would love to be able to use a slightly darker setting. Like, I'm using the ISO setting on my camera to be able to adjust the brightness on this. It's still a little too bright on that dice camera for my taste. Like, with the EV correction setting, we can go darker. Like, that looks great to me. I love how that looks. The problem is that it, like, really does a lot of adjusting of the brightness as soon as I put my pale ass hand in here. And I feel like it's annoying to have to look at to see like that background constantly, or I mean really everything just changing brightness all the time. Like, if we go back to manual, you do see it a little bit. It's just not as bad. I don't know. If you're watching this and you have a preference, let me know, because I will take it into account for future videos, like once I go into cycle 4 and cycle 5. If you don't have a preference, just tell me you don't care, because I don't know if this bothers other people as much as it bothers me. All right, anyway, inscribed ribcage, AT value of 8. If we wound, we're gonna get 2 rage, 1 danger. That's fine. Yeah, it shouldn't be too bad. No bonus power. Okay, 8 on the dice. Come on. All right, that's pretty good. 2, 4, 5, 6 with breaks. 7, 8, 9, 10. We don't need a reroll. We're just gonna get the wound effect there. 2 rage, 1 danger. I am glad that didn't go to Shadow Dancer, because that would have been bad for her. Really just a rage would have been bad for her, I guess. But still, that rage would have... Oh yeah, that would have... Oh no, I had Force Kratos cooldown, it wouldn't have mattered. Otherwise that rage would have killed her. So that goes up to 8 wounds. We get another BP 3 in our deck here. I think that means we're gonna, yeah, we have 4 cards here now, so our deck is now 50-50 on BP3s. 3, 2, 1. BP2, hell yeah. All right, I would have preferred the BP1, but that's okay. AI2 comes out, AI3 goes in, the next card will be the ultimate. All right, 3, 2, 1, AI3. Take all these dice out. Clear all these. And now we're gonna get break 3 from the Devolver. What are the goodies we get in here? We have some Motivate we can use. I wonder if maybe I should have gotten Game Changer back already, just so I can motivate him around, but not a big deal. We're going to get at least 3 opening. And we'll get at least 3 fire, and then this last one we'll be able to choose between, do we want another fire or another opening? Probably want to go with another opening here. Actually, maybe not, because next up we'll be going with Shadow Dancer, who has +2 precision bonus from Zeus. At least +1 from each weapon, so that's +3, +1 from Argo Cryptex Beta, that's +4. 3 opening puts her at +7, so that already puts her at a level where a 2 or higher is going to wound, or not wound, but hit. So I think we're better off with another fire. Take these out. Take that out. Let's maybe go like, let's move up here with you. Then I think I'll reposition 2 out here with Firestarter. It just kind of gets him out of a line of, I don't know, I don't think it really matters. Then we need to do Cumbersome, and you should have been activated. Then that will end Firestarter's turn. And then next, of course, I will go with Guard, aka the Shadow Dancer. Reestablish your time anchor. I would really like to be able to get that other BP1. We are in the blind spot, so we have to flip this over. So we have access to Heartseeker. That BP2 also had the Quantum Eye symbol. That's what? We've wounded 4 BP2s so far, and 2 of them had a Quantum Eye symbol. Even if I assume that there are no more than half of the BPs of a given level that would have the Quantum Eye symbol, there would still leave us with a 50-50 chance that that this BP has it. I wish Heartseeker was worded. I mean, it's probably intentionally done this way, but I wish Heartseeker was worded more closely to Precise, where you would get to draw the first one before, like, revealing the second one or something like that. Oh, also notably, I won't be able to roll the extra red die from the Kratos table for the power roll because I'm not at the right rage anymore. There's no Rouse tokens in there, so okay, that is good to know. I think that makes me a lot less likely to use Shalusalem to try to wound this. Okay, I'm probably not going to use Heartseeker, but let me at least do the power roll first. I think we want to use the Haka Blade here, which means we'll have to gain a fate when we attack. Okay, the only way we have to lose... We could also lose a fate from Fate Safe. I may... Let's just do this attack first, and then we will see how things play out. Actually, wait. No, all right, let's just do this. I keep thinking that I want to use Time Skip for the Shadow Dancer, but maybe I really want to be using it. Wait, why am I thinking I want to use Time Skip for the Shadow Dancer? I almost certainly want to be using it for the Truth Bearer, right? No, well, I guess it depends on what BP card is on top, because if I get a BP3 on top again before I want it, maybe I want to use, I think that's when I want to use Time Skip on Shadow Dancer. She has Heartseeker on her Kratos table, but not until Rage 8. If I used Heartseeker here, I'd have to use the Haka Blade. And that would mean, worst case scenario, if it was a BP2 and then a BP3 next, and they both had Quantum Eye, I'd be getting a total of 6 fate, putting me at 10. All right, thinking through this out loud. It is more likely that there's going to, I think it's more likely that there's going to be a BP3 underneath that BP2 that has Quantum Eye on it. I don't know that for a fact, but I feel like that's more likely. At least we know that BP1, there's only a 33% chance that there's a BP1 underneath of that BP2. I'm gonna go to this view so you can stare at this card as angrily as I am, trying to like see through it and just see what is on the opposite side of this BP2 and what is underneath of that BP2. There's only a 33% chance that it's going to be the BP1 underneath. Let's say worst case scenario, it's like for the BP3s, let's say they both have Quantum Eye on it, or even just one of them. That would mean that I'm now at a 33% chance of gaining 3 fate just from the BP3. I'm going to be annoyed if I do this and there is the BP1 underneath this BP2, but I feel like the safer play is to just go after this BP2, do a normal attack, try to get a high enough power on it that we can do a bonus attack with Zeus, and then we'll go from there. Because yes, time skip is my flexible piece here. Time skip is the thing that I need to use to my benefit, because time skip is the thing that will allow me to give the Shadow Dancer an extra turn if I need her to be able to get rid of a BP3 off the top in some way, try to find that BP1. It's just hard because if I am only trying to wound a single BP3, I need to get the BP1. I need to get the BP1, this BP2, and the BP2 that we would get from wounding the BP1. I mean, that's just going to be really hard to do. We may end up having to go through another Primordial round if we're trying to do that. And I think we just need to kind of preserve a bit of the fate gain on Shadow Dancer. We need to limit that a little bit. Okay. Okay. I have decided I am going to just do an attack with the Herakleides. I'm not going to gain, I'm jumping ahead with the Heartseeker, but I just don't think it makes sense to try to do Shalusalem, even if it means I could try to lose fate that way. So we will gain a rage, gain a fate. We have +8 to hit here. So we just need a 2 or higher. That's a 6 and an 8. Okay. Come on, we need to get some crits soon. They were just saving up for a crit on a BP3. I trust you, dice. I trust you. Don't let me down. We get no auto tokens, nothing to inspire. All right, I am not using Heartseeker, but let's just go for the moment of truth here. Did I make the right choice or not? Damn it! Ah, no! Does it make sense for me to fail this on purpose? Probably not, because I still have a 25% chance of getting the BP1 back on top. That's okay. I didn't just stupidly go about it. I put some thought into it. I have to live with I have to accept what I did. We have Sword Graveyard, AT value of 9, and wound effect is unexhaust all your exhausted gear. That'd be nice. But I was already kind of planning on doing that with my movement anyway, so it's not really that great. Okay. So we're going to get, what? Let's do these 2 black dice. Actually, we're going to get 3 black dice. Put you there. 3 black dice, 2 red dice. And we have a bonus power on our Herakleides, so we only need to get 8 on the dice here. But really, we're trying to get 11 on the dice if we want to get the bonus attack from Zeus. All right, I'm going to channel Zeus. Come on. I want that bonus attack. That is probably not getting me a bonus attack. We do have 3 rerolls we can do. Let's keep these. Let's reroll these. Ooh, okay, that I think I still wound. That was close to me not wounding though. Wait. Fuck. I didn't think about this. I didn't think about this. I am gonna lose I'm gonna permanently lose a Herakleides. I shouldn't have rerolled that. I should not have rerolled that. It's less the not wounding part that I mind. It's the fail effect that shoot. I think I might do the biggest cheat that I've done. I might say that I just did not re-roll that. I don't want to lose a Dahaka Blade. I've technically gotten it twice. Because I did in a recent recorded fight with Dahaka, I did get it again, but I already had it. Oh no. I don't feel good about this. I really don't want to lose a Dahaka Blade. Let me go back and watch that part of the video to make sure that I actually had the wound at that point. I did. I barely did. I'm sorry. I feel terrible for doing this. I am gonna cheat here, and I'm gonna say I did not re-roll these. That's what I think it was. I just closed out of the video, but I think it was this 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, that would have been just enough. I'm sorry. I genuinely feel terrible when I do something like this because I feel like it's kind of cheating you. Like you were spending the time to watch me. I feel like you want to actually you want to watch me play by the rules. You want to watch me like do a fair fight. I feel terrible for doing this because I just wasn't thinking. I need some kind of penalty though, because this feels like a big cheat. What can I do here? Let's lose some Pygmalion stones. I can't lose Sisyphus tears because that's not really actually going to hurt me with anything. I gotta find scribe. Here we go. 3 Pygmalion stones maybe. I don't know. Is that enough of a punishment? Should I be losing cores too? All right. I will think about if I should be punishing myself more for that. But damn. All right. So we'll pretend like we did not wound there. I need to learn my lesson from like re-rolling red dice because I feel like every time I re-roll them, I end up getting a blank on them. But this is going to go in our wound stack. 9. That's going to put another BP3 in our pile here. Damn, I need to shake this off because I just feel like my mind is stuck on this right now. 3, 2, 1. Yay, BP1. Take out our AI2, get our AI3 in here. 3, 2, 1. Ultimate's on top. That should be my punishment, just ultimate stays on top. If y'all are watching this at this point, I would really appreciate you letting me know like how you feel about that cheating in the comments. Like, would you prefer that I like, even though I did the power roll and I just wasn't thinking about it and I re-rolled to try. I mean, I was re-rolling intentionally because I wanted to try to get the bonus attack on Zeus, and then I didn't get it, and that's what made me think about the effects. So like, I really should have just lost the weapon there. I really did not want to lose it, and I didn't think about the fact that I was going to have to lose it if I failed. So I don't know. If you don't care about it, let me know. If you do care, because you really are expecting me to, like, if you think emerging boat, like, that was too much. You've done like other little cheats at one point. I mean, the other one that I still feel bad about was like, I think it was a game changer. I rolled 2 1s in a row and I said, screw it, I'm not doing that. I don't know, maybe this cycle has been bad with that kind of stuff. Also with just unintentionally breaking the rules. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is, please let me know in the comments if that if you care about that, like if this is like taking you out, if you're watching this because you want to see me, I don't know, do this without fucking cheating. Anyway, yeah, let me know in the comments if you care strongly about it. If you don't care, like I would like to hear your feedback. But I'm gonna move on. I need to keep my energy up for the rest of this video and not act like a sad sack of shit. So we're gonna take these out, take this out, and we would have lost all of our fire tokens probably. Maybe we keep one of them, but screw it. Cheaters don't get to keep fire tokens. So we are going to do black 3, closing 3. Black 3, closing 3. What else we got here? We're at rage 5, so what goodies do we get? I'm seeing 2 closing, 3 break. We're gonna get 2 more closing, 3 more break. And we're gonna take out these fire, take out these opening. I think that's everything that we get from her attack. We could do pole position, we can do reposition. I don't see much of a need for that. I'm also just realizing now that like we're looking very good. Barring some like catastrophic power rolls, we're setting ourselves up actually pretty well for a win here. This is exciting. Okay, sorry, I need to get my energy back up. This is exciting. We're actually looking close to a win here. Is that better? Is that my normal YouTube voice? Because all we have to do is get Game Changer back from, I don't know actually if maybe I already explained this out loud. I explained this in my head, but all we have to do is get Game Changer back to life using Transient Death, have him go up and attack next. Then if we get quote unquote unlucky and we end up getting the BP2 on top after that, we can use Time Skip to attack with Game Changer again. Or maybe at that point I would actually, I don't know, TBD on if I would want Game Changer to attack again or just have 2 turns in a row with Ares. But if we get a BP3 on top instead of that BP2, then we just go with Truthbearer / Ares, and we can assign the Blade Nymph to Ares, or yeah, to Truthbearer, and that would give him, he's already at +2 bonus power. He'd have an extra 1 from Blade Nymph. We've been holding on to that charge of the armor piercing round. We still have Death Follows. We are looking good in that regard. So Shadow Dancer, do I want to move you out of the way? Yeah, I'm going to reposition you back just to get you out of the way. And then I will use your movement to unexhaust everything. Oh no, actually, before I use the movement to unexhaust, let's use the last charge of Fate Safe to lose a Fate. Also, I put a bunch of tokens in there, put more than 5 tokens in there, so we lose a Fate from that. So we're going down to 3 Fate, actually. You would have been exhausted, and that will end your turn. So during her turn, she would have had to use Transient Death to get Game Changer back to life. So let me do that. Let me get Argo, Titans, lose a Titan here. And then Game Changer comes back at the green time anchor. We will go with Game Changer now. Activate you. Don't need to reestablish your time anchor because it's already reestablished. We will move 1, 2, 3, 4, get into that blind spot. We will attack. What are the ways that we can lose? Okay. So we're going to gain a rage. We're going to gain a fate from commit. Is there any... Cannot ignore... Okay. No. I was like, does this say anything about coming back to life? It does not. Because that would also be kind of a spoilery Faded Nemos card. We just need to not roll a 1. Okay, come on, Dice God. Okay, I deserve that. I deserve that. We can use a closing token to re-roll. Let's give you... Let's put you back. We're gonna re-roll this one. 8. If I rolled a double 1 there, 100% would have been karma. I honestly was kind of expecting it at that point. Like, just payback for those 2 things. 2 cheats, call them what they are. I did increment my counter, by the way, for adversary activations. I have 3 adversary activations, which means spawn and move 2 towards us. We're going to get 3 black dice here, or rage 4. And what, 3 black dice, a red die, and a white die. And we need to draw our BP1. Prisoners, AT of 7. Lose 1 humanity, gain a rage. At this point, that rage gain is kind of nice. Cool. All right, let's roll these one at a time from lowest to highest. Okay, 2. Boom. That's 1. Okay, I think we're already kind of in our wound territory. Yeah, we're looking pretty good here. That's pretty great. All right, so clearly nope, I'm not going to jinx myself. It's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 without using the black. So we are good. We wound. We're going to lose a humanity, but that doesn't matter. Gain a rage. This will go into our wound stack. We go up to 10 wounds. What am I doing here? Then that's going to get us a BP2 into our BP deck. 3, 2, 1. BP3 on top. Good. AI1 comes out. AI2 goes in. Right? Yeah. 3, 2, 1. AI3 on top. Clear these out. Let's get them sitting on their good sides now. Got to stay warmed up. Don't have to get ready if you be ready. What is that saying? You don't. If you're always ready, you don't have to get ready. Built different. All right, we'll put those there. You know, why not? We're gonna put all of our dice on their good sides. Just get some good things going here. High rolls only. Boom. And you know what? I'm gonna just put all these on their 10 sides. Yes, I am wasting your time. I apologize. If you made it to this point in the video, you know, congrats to you. Clearly you're capable of putting up with a lot of stupid shit. We are going to clear these out, and we're going to get 4 hope. Beautiful sight. 3, 4. What else we got? We are at rage 5, so we can get 2 break, 2 opening. And rouse 1. Clear these tokens out. Clear that out. Get rid of that. And we do get to lose a fate because we put 5 or more tokens in the pool. And that's going to end Game Changer's turn. Now, hopefully, lastly, Hopefully this is our last turn. We're going to go with Truth Bearer / Ares. Get our token there. Is there anything we need to do to prepare ourselves more before this attack? I don't believe so. We'll gain a rage. Is there anything I'm missing? No. Oh, we have to lose a token. We're only going to have +4 to hit here, so we need a 5 or higher, which is higher than I would like, but at least we have the Atlantean Oscillator. All right, let's see if we can crit here. Come on, baby. No, not quite. Darn. All right, for this last, hopefully last attack, I put on Expedition 33 soundtrack because I'm not somebody who like really appreciates music in games. Like, never really stands out to me. But in that game, holy shit, that soundtrack just like so good. Okay, auto tokens. We'll get an auto hope. I didn't already put that in, did I? Did not. Before I draw this card, I think even if we had to deal with like an AT value of 18. Oh, I'm sorry. As a free action, I did want to do Blade Nymph. I am using that. I have the bonus summon charge for it, so I'm going to take that little thing off. Spend 1 summon, then okay. Now we are incrementing our counter again. I'm going to give myself every chance to get this wound. Assign this card and the Blade Nymph token to a Titan. As long as you have this card, you have +1 power before each power roll. You must say if you will wound the Primordial or not. If you waver, discard this card and your weapon. If you're sure, then you do not wound, discard this card and permanently lose your weapon. That's fine, we can permanently lose a Devolver. I'm actually taking into account things that I could permanently lose this time. Start of your turn, discard the Blade Nymph token. If you cannot, discard this card instead. Let's just put that here, I guess. And we'll just put a generic token on it. But now with that, I think even if we had to deal with an AT value of 18, we still have a very, I'm looking at like an 85% chance to wound. That doesn't feel right. No, 60% chance. Okay, I did the math, I did the, what's it called? The Devolver wrong. Okay, so if it's an AT value of 18, we have like a 60% chance to wound. That makes way more sense. We went all the way down to 16. We have a 91% chance to wound. Before red, 2 black, 1 white. Yes, because that's using Death Follows. Okay. All right. Moment of truth. Let's draw this. Oh, I'm not even in the right window. Where are we at here? You. Billowing oh, it is an 18. Oh, no. Okay. All right. We still have like a 60% chance to wound here. I'm going to wound. Just saying that. For the sake of the Blade Nymph, I'm saying that confidently. I'm going to wound. We're using Death Follows. We're going to get 4 red. That's 2 red from the Devolver, 1 red from our Kratos table, 1 red from Death Follows. We're going to get 2 black, both of them from the Devolver, and then we're going to get 1 white from Ares. I feel like this one is the one that I want. All right, we are going to do these one at a time. Okay, that's a blank. We're going to end up re-rolling that one. That's fantastic. We're going to keep that. Oh gosh, I'm losing a die. Come back, die. That is 1. That's okay. That's, oh hell yeah, that's great. Black die. Okay, not terrible. Come on, we want their best side. Okay, not terrible. White die. Okay, that's good. Let's see what we got here. In terms of power, we're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then we can get 10, 11 off a break. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 off of Hope. I think we did it. Then we have 17 from Devolver, 18 from Argo Cryptex Gamma, 19 from Blade Nymph. Right? All right, let's just triple check the math on this. Let's assign these to you. Take these. Did I accidentally flip anything? I don't think so. Let's assign boom, 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 boom. So that's what? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. That is a double wound. And we kill the Nietzschean. Let's go! Oh, nice! Nice! That's awesome. Oh, that would have been... I would have loved to crit on this one because then we would have gotten the Cowl of Char, which is a great, great attachment. I think it's an attachment, or maybe it's a support. We'll come back to the aftermath. Let's jump over to our story real quick. Sorry, I had a little bit of a jump cut there because I wasn't paying attention to putting the screen back to where it was belonged before I was getting the iPad set up. But let's jump over to our story and then we'll come back. We need aftermath. In case of defeat, C101. In case of the unlikely victory, C102. Unlikely as it is, here we are.
The Nietzschean slumps to the ground, his body falling apart at the seams. He grasps at the final wound, a deep gash that cut him to the bone.
No, this is not possible.
And yet,
You will pay.
we already have. The primordial form dissolves into ambrosia and debris, but one piece retains its shape. The long black blade called the End. As one of your titans raises it, the onyx verdigris falls away, revealing its true form, Theogonius, a sword once wielded by Promethea. Of Nietzschean, the man, there is no trace. Perhaps he perished. Perhaps he slipped before the battle's end. Regardless, you've dealt him a crippling wound, one that will never heal and will be his Achilles' heel for all time. Oh.
I feel like that voice actor could have done a little bit better job of delivering that final. Oh. All right, here we go. Let's clear these out of the way. Show off the Theogonius here, which is just a literally bonkers weapon. All right, let's push these out of the way. Let's go to macro view here. That did good. Now we can clean up that focus. Also, there's so many hairs there, right? For the Theogonius, we can Zamboni our area here, get rid of some of these hairs. Sorry, pardon the interruption, but there we go. Now we have a nice clean, oh no, let's get those off there. Yeah, now we have a nice clean surface to put Theogonius on. This beautiful weapon that we will get to use for a somewhat short period of time. Theogonius, 3 attack dice, plus 3 precision, 1 white die per hit. It is unique, it has opening 2, it has hope 2, it has clutch, it has succor, it is deadly, it has auto break 2. This weapon occupies all weapon slots. When another Titan draws an obol, or draws a you died obol, you may resolve that obol instead. And I completely skipped the flavor text on it. It was there at their birth. It saw their demise. This is hands down the best weapon in cycles 1 through 3. One of the best weapons in the base game. I'm sorry, one of the best weapons like across like just the standard cycles 1 through 4. I mean, there are definitely some Mnessus Theater things that can eat its lunch, but Theogonius is crazy good. Go ahead and add this to our cargo here. Gear, add gear, Go down to the bottom. Wait, what am I looking at? No, this would be in secret gear. What, secret deck 8 probably. Diagonius. I've gotten any of these other ones. No, I think I've been good at keeping my gear going this cycle. Oh, sorry, I missed some other instruction that we have here. We need to archive Doom 2, or this Doom card. Then we need to get Doom 3A, and then we need to mark O1 as well. So let's mark O1 while we're here. O1 defeated the Nietzschean in Delphi. Let me go grab the other Doom card. This view, how is that text there? Good enough. Divine Shackles. The Argo creaks and groans under the tremendous pressures of history, trying to unravel itself, or return to its original course. You have no way of knowing if your efforts amount to anything, or if you are just sailing the currents carved long ago by the trembling hands of the Moirai, leading you to an inevitable conclusion, the one that greeted you at the gates of Delphi, the vicious cycle. A sun rises above you, the black spot of Helios's domain, a dark blemish. You know that even at this very moment, his self-styled descendant reaches for the throne. Rules. When there are 7 or more Doom tokens on this card, see 0130. Put excess tokens on side B. Cool. We are a little bit closer to losing this cycle in terms of Doom, but I am not worried. I think we're doing okay. Let's jump over to this view, and I'll take care of the battle aftermath. Oh, I do need to mark off. I will forget to do this, so I'm going to do this now. I need to mark off God Forms and Summons. We did use, I didn't actually add the bonus charge for this nymph as a separate bonus charge because it's specific to this nymph. Oh, actually, I don't have to do anything for it because I used the bonus charge, so I don't have to mark anything off for it. We're good there. I would have to kill off Shadow Dancer. I am definitely going to go into Cargo and lose a Pygmalion Stone for that. And if you skipped through the rest of this video and you're just here for the debrief, let me start off by saying I did cheat at some point in this fight where I did a power roll, I got the wound, and then decided, well, I'm going to try to go for the bonus attack here with Zeus. I re-rolled some power dice, failed the wound, and then I realized that failing the wound meant that I was going to permanently lose it to Haka-Blade. So I said, sorry, I am not going to re-roll those, or I'm going to pretend like I didn't re-roll those power dice. And I chose to lose myself 3 Pygmalion Stones as punishment, but full disclosure, that happened. Let me know in the comments if you think that was just egregious and you want me to stop doing that. Like, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, because that, to me, that's like the second egregious cheat that I've done this cycle. Other than that, though, this fight went super well. Super well. I think we had above average luck with the BP card deck and shuffling and getting the BP cards that we wanted on top, like at least in terms of the BP levels. We definitely hit a little bit of a rough patch where we had some BP3s that we needed to get off the top. But those we were able to get off the top with some bonus attacks, one of which was kind of a planned bonus attack, at least from Awakening. The other one, that was a surprise. Awakening into Zeus was a nice surprise. I think we definitely needed the Ares Awakening, the planned one, in order to actually win this fight, because we needed every help that we could get for trying to wound that BP3. That plan worked out. We were able to get the Truth Bearer into a position where they were able to take a bunch of danger, get the bonus power, excuse me, the bonus power that we wanted them to get from the Devolver and Argo Cryptex Gamma, get the bonus power from the Blade Nymph, and end the fight on a wound to a BP3. The biggest things that helped us in this fight were the Primordial Lure was a huge help. Like Primordial Lure and not really precise, Primordial Lure and Heartseeker. Two great traits. I'd have to go through and see what other gear we'd have access to right now that could have Heartseeker on it, so that if you, like, probably not going to have the Dehaka Blade, how can you get access to Heartseeker? I need to go through and look at some of the gear, because it's not a common trait to come by in the earlier parts of the game, meaning like cycles 1 through 3. And actually, I don't even think I used Heartseeker. I just talked about using it. So really the things that helped us get the right BP cards on top were the bonus attacks that we could afford to fail the BPs on. We were able to mitigate some of the fail effects on those. But then Primordial Lure was just a clutch thing to bring. Having Daedalus's Flight was also a huge help with the Hope 4 that it puts down. Obviously having 3 Titans that have black power dice. I think in a lot of cases, a lot of our power rolls well exceeded what we needed to get the wound. So even if you don't have a lot of Titans with black power dice, like if the only Titan that you have with black power die at this point is the Game Changer, I think you can still do it. Like your Game Changer obviously takes the place of the Truth Bearer, uses a Devolver, follows the same strategy as the Truth Bearer, and then somebody else, probably the Earthshaker, maybe the Warkeeper, probably, would take the Daedalus's Flight and use that as the setup weapon. And I think the fight is still fairly doable at that point. Technically I should have had movement fatigue token on Firestarter just to be accurate. But having the Argo Cryptexes for this fight is very helpful. I didn't even really think all that much about, like the only one that I really thought a lot about was putting Argo Cryptex Gamma on Truthbearer to make sure that he could get that bonus power. The other ones I didn't really put that much thought into. Repurposed Cryptex I just gave to Game Changer because they already had advanced reflex from this, but obviously if you don't have all these other nice Titans in Game Changer as your power hitter, then they're going to be getting the Argo Cryptex Gamma. There is some, like, a couple of really strong things that we didn't even take full advantage of in this fight were the prototype Trespass device. Like, we still had a free Titan death, essentially. Like, I do think it is smart to put this on whoever your power hitter is, like, just in case. You have transient death, but transient death should be your thing that you're planning to be a little bit more flexible with, and like you can use it to bring back another Titan. But like your power hitter, you need to keep until the end. So I think keeping prototype Trespass device, even though we didn't use it, but keeping that on the power hitter, I think is a very good idea. But also time skip. I didn't end up needing time skip, but I'm still glad I saved it, because if we didn't get some good draws towards the end there, like we would have had the flexibility to use time skip, in our case specifically on the Shadow Dancer, to be able to take advantage of Heartseeker if we needed that. So if you are able to get a piece of gear with Heartseeker on it, it could be a good idea to save time skip for them towards the end of the fight, or whenever, just to try to like manipulate the BP deck. And if you don't need it for that, you save it for in case that heavy hitter fails to wound the BP3 towards the end. Maybe you give them a second chance. Maybe the Kratos pool isn't as good, but hopefully it gives you another chance to try to close out the fight before you have to go into another Primordial round. Things I would consider changing, maybe getting something with reflex on the heavy hitter and swapping out Siren Mask. Like, we didn't really need Siren Mask on them. It might have been better to have reflex on them, like another advanced reflex, I should say, because we care a lot about positioning with them. Like, at some point we want them to take an attack, so giving them extra ability to move around and react to things can be helpful to make that happen. that's probably an area where we just kind of got a little bit lucky, not so much that we did enough planning around that. Another area where I think I got a little bit lucky was I didn't think, I put too many things with a lot of fate gain on Shadow Dancer, although I don't really know how else I would have spread some of this gear around, because I mean, Shadow Dancer was able to keep her fate relatively under control, unlike the Fire Starter. But if possible, like if you do have something with Heartseeker on it and you have the Primordial lore, it's probably better to keep them on different Titans if you can do it, because both of those things just are going to result in a lot of fate gain, and so spreading that out a little bit more can be a little bit more bearable, especially because Heartseeker, like, it could be no fate gain other than like the fate it costs to use the ability. It could be up to 6 fate if you have 2 BP3s. I'm curious. So let's see that. Okay, so Billowing Maul that we wounded had the AT. I'm just going to look at the other BP3s that are in the deck here. Okay, so we at least see out of the 3 out of the 5, yeah, 3 out of the 5 BP cards that we ended up putting into our BP deck in this fight have that Quantum Eye symbol on it. So yeah, totally plausible that you could end up like Heartseeker, including the fate that it costs to use the ability. It could cost you 7 fate. A piece of gear that I actually didn't even think about using in this way until now, Ontological Module is, in my opinion, like pretty underrated. I mean, maybe other people just properly rate it, but like I don't think about it, how powerful it can be sometimes. We used it for unexhausting the Devolver. Great use for it. Love that. But also being able to exchange it for another support item from the Argo Armory. If I needed to, I could have used that to swap out for another piece of gear that could combo break. And considering the Devolver is a bow, could have actually worked out for Firestarter. I didn't think about it. But if in a fight like this where we really need to be using up a lot of support slots because we have so many great support items, that's where Ontological Module can be so good. It's because it already has a useful ability on the card itself, but then if you need to, like if you need another piece of gear desperately, you can swap it out. So you could even use it, like you could say, I don't want to keep the Primordial lore on me to start, I just want to swap out to it if I need to. That's going to be an expensive swap to make, because then you're gaining 1 fate to swap the card out, and then you're gaining 3 fate to use the Primordial lore, so that's 4 fate, but you can do that. Especially if you have an Argonaut that has a bunch of fated Nemoses resolved. I've been kind of underusing Odo's Zero in that regard, because he has 3 resolved fated Nemoses that he can get minus fate from, and like 2 of them I just haven't really been utilizing that much, but that's just because I haven't really been using Otis Zero in the tank role, and most of his things I think are kind of tankier. Just probably underused a bit in that regard, but I just can't optimize everything. I'm not that smart. I think I mentioned it before in like the pre-battle setup. If you like there actually could have been a good scenario for me to have, even though I have Truthbearer, if you were looking to do this differently than the way I did it, but kind of similar, if you have Game Changer and they also happen to have Shade Training, if that is a Titan that's in your like Power Titan role, then you can gain this danger in a more expectable way, what's the word I'm looking for? A more reliable way, by using the shaded ability to just gain 3 danger twice over the course of 2 Titan rounds, and suddenly you're at 6 danger. If you had 1 danger going into the fight, then that automatically just gives you the bonus power from your Argo Cryptex Gamma and your Devolver without even having to worry about the what's it called? Without having to draw a trauma card. But I think, yeah, I mean, I think we still would have won this fight even if we didn't have something like like probably the luckiest, most unexpected thing to happen was the awakening for Shadow Dancer. I think we could have won the fight without that though. We probably replaced the bonus attack that we got from that with the time skip from here, and we're still looking at about being in the same game state. So that's it. I don't think I really have much else to say on the fight. I'm going to do, I guess I'll get the Primordial resources, although it doesn't really matter. Oh, we don't need to roll any d10s because we get to ignore front lines for the rest of this cycle. So I'm going to end the video there. If you are really interested in seeing me do this fight with a more reasonable cycle 3 loadout, like if you want to see me doing it without, you know, titans like Truthbearer and Shadow Dancer, maybe doing it without weapons like Daedalus Flight and Dahaka Blade, I can go through and do this fight again. I will not do that until somebody says so in the comments. Like I mean, at the point I probably see that comment, I'll probably be in like cycle 4, but you know, I can go back and do my loadout, look at the videos to see something of like what I had. Maybe just pull out some things from cycle 3 technology cards to try to build up a reasonable loadout that we might have around like day 65-ish. But if you want another example of like trying to do this fight with gear that you have, tell me the loadout that you have, and I'm not going to do this for like a bunch of different loadouts, but I know this is like a very tough fight. I think people generally want to see strategy videos for these hard fights and think about better ways to approach them. So yeah, if you have a loadout that you're like, you think it should be doable with the Nietzschean, but like you want to see it done, let me know. I don't know how quickly I'll be able to respond to that comment, so don't expect it to be like within the next, you know, calendar day that I'll have that video out. But yeah, anyway, just let me know, and I'll consider doing that. Thank you for watching. I appreciate your time, and as always, I will see you in the next video. Take care.